welcome to Drop Frames. It's the final episode of April 2024. Zeke, you were rocking out there, keeping up with the drums. Well done. Well done. Thank you for playing us in. I appreciate it, Zeke.
You're welcome. What does that mean to play us in? Do you mean to start the show?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, it's from the Bill O'Reilly, like, we'll do it live.
Oh, that's okay. Also, your mic's muted. Unless it's it's not muted.
Oh,
on
there we
my
go.
end. There we go.
We're good.
Oh,
We're good.
okay, good. Okay. I didn't realize I've never heard the full O'Reilly bit. I only remember the let's do it live
gold.
thing where he's
He's on his show before. This is all before he was huge on O'Reilly Factor and stuff like that. He's just sitting there and he's like, what does that mean to play us out? You mean to end the show? And he's just like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It was so good.
Yeah, I'll have to let's not say how old that is. How are you guys doing? How's
that is an old ass. Yeah, it's an old ass meme.
How's everything going? What are you guys up to? Not much? Vibing?
Doing
Chilling?
good.
Are you
started Shogun?
Oh, nice. You're having a good time, I would assume.
But I think we're 3 episodes in, 3 or 4, something like that.
Nice. That's good. That's good. Where are you at in your TV adventures?
Let's see. What are we doing now? We were watching 3 Body Problem. We finished Fallout. Love that. We're watching 3 Body Problem. We started. I had somebody suggest to me Reindeer Baby, and we watched the first episode of that, and that was.
I've seen that on Netflix.
Really
what is that?
Yeah.
What is Reindeer?
It's basically
Reindeer
about
Baby?
this failing stand-up comic that gets a stalker.
Okay.
And it's all about how he decides to react to that situation as somebody who is constantly on the lookout for comedic inspiration in his profession.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's an interesting show.
Huh.
But it was very hard to watch. Like, we got to the end of the first episode. We got to the end of the first episode and we're like, yeah, like, we saw where this is going, and we're like, yeah, this is going to get like real kind of messed up. And so I think I don't know if we're going to stick with it. We may keep
messed
going.
up as in like dark.
A little bit, like some of the themes, like like a person using somebody who's stalking them, like for
comedic value,
letting her stalk him for material for his stand-up show. Like it starts to cross some real ethical lines and plays with that, and and this is just the first episode. Apparently it gets like dark. So yeah.
Well, you sold me.
Interesting.
I know what I'm watching after
it's called Reindeer Baby.
It's my chat is saying apparently the main character is the real person that it happened to, and that the stalker and that the stalker is actually suing him for defamation because of the show. So
love it.
Yeah, that's okay. Weird. I didn't know any of that. It gets better, I guess.
So the show is about a guy who used a stalker for comedy value. That turned out to be true. The show is actually what the show was about. And now they're getting sued.
You know, that's the ultimate farming it for content, really, at the end of the day.
When you farm yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you make a Netflix show about it, and it's a one-sided show, and the other person does it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wild. All right.
Wow.
And you said that's on Netflix, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Some one of them. I don't even. They all just kind of blend together for me.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah. It's kind of a nightmare. Yeah. Zeke, Shogun's done, so I assume that's why the watch started. But now I am sad because there's no more Shogun. So. Yeah, I still got X-Men 97. That's been my other watch every single week, which is phenomenal. If you, I would say it's like probably the best Marvel to come out in a very long time. If you're looking for something Marvel related, go watch it because it's very good. The writing in it is like actually better than most of the films. A lot of the films get trumped by the writing in X-Men 97.
And they don't like Like the thing I was surprised about with X-Men 97 is they do not like protect your feelings or anything. Like
no, fuck your feelings.
They don't give a shit about like it's a little more adult than the previous comic was or previous series was.
Yeah.
And probably for good reason, because the people who liked it are now adults now. You know?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. It's very good. Anyways, that's our TV minute at the top of the show, which is becoming a reoccurring trend for some reason.
We always do slice of life at the top of the
You're
show.
right. That's always it's
Slice of life.
380 episodes or however long we've been going. We're close to 400.
Yeah.
I know that. We'll hit 400 this year, as long as we keep doing shows.
Too many.
So it's a lot. It's also wild to think that we're hitting 400 and there's actual podcasts that have like 1,000+ episodes. That seems crazy.
Well, it makes more sense when you think like this is not our only job. This is our side gig, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Like when a lot of podcasts, like that's their main gig.
Their
you know,
thing.
that's
their
their main moneymaker.
Yeah. Sure. It makes sense. Let's talk game news. It was kind of a fun week, but also a sad week, depending on, I guess, which side of the fandom you fall on.
Games you're playing as well.
Yeah. There are games as well that have come out. It probably last for a little while. Where to begin? I guess within our communities, probably the biggest thing was this Escape from Tarkov shenanigans that kicked off this past week.
Man, I mean, I said it last week. I'm gonna say it every time it's relevant, but like it's just like fuck you. I piss in your face.
Yep.
Dude, like
that's exactly. I don't think I have ever, in all of Drop Frames, had a situation that applies more to what you just said than what is going on in the Tarkov community right now. It is actually like every so often when somebody lies or somebody is just stoically sticking to an untruth, they do it so much that you just get this little bit impressed. And that's what's going on with Tarkov right now. Like they are sticking to their guns so much where it's so bad it's almost a little impressive.
Yeah. It's wild. It truly is wild.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the purchase page and show people here as we introduce kind of the story. So Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, I guess a little bit before the story, they had a edition called, what was the $100 edition?
Edge of
Darkness edition.
Edge of Darkness.
Which I owned. Yeah, I think we both own. It was the $100 edition, which was already a little bit steep. But with it, you were promised all future DLC. So you know, you were like, okay, you know, we'll get
$250, but you know what? All future DLC, all future content.
Yeah, $100. Yeah, we'll get all of it. It's fine. Well, you know,
they're trying to correct you to 150. Like they're blowing up.
It was 150. I thought it was 100. Okay, well, whatever.
I thought EOD was 250.
No. That's the new one. That's the new one. The unheard of edition is 250. EOD was 150. I thought it was 100.
Okay.
Anyways,
EOD was 150. Thank you. Okay,
got it.
Cool.
Yeah. And the big thing there, the big thing, regardless of the price, is the idea that, like I just said, all future DLC was promised as part of the season pass. So this past week, they announced a
lot of stuff.
They announced a lot of stuff. And first and foremost, whoever named this, don't name anything ever again. Like it's bad. I don't know how. It's the Unheard of edition is the name of the $250 pack here, which you can buy, which not only gives you a bunch of different, and this might have been edited because this is the live page, so maybe some of this has changed since it actually went live, but initially it was a little bit of pay to win stuff. You got some like one or two additional inventory slots on like your quick slots. And then the big thing was that you got this online PvE mode where you could play with friends that had progression, which They came out and said after the fact, wasn't DLC, but it was a feature. And they doubled down on that multiple times, that it's not DLC. I need to like find
here's
the actual
what's interesting.
thing, because it's really insane how they worded it.
So here's what's interesting. There is precedent for what they're doing, and I think that's why they're trying to stick to it.
Where
but
from?
I don't think they understand how that precedent was set. So CD Projekt Red since Witcher 3 has made it very, very clear that there is free DLC and paid expansions. That is what they have said. Cyberpunk came out.
Yeah.
DLC and expansions. A lot of companies do that. There's DLC and then there's expansions. The DLC is cheaper, sometimes free. Expansions are big and usually cost money, right? We just saw the same thing with Cyberpunk. Now, one would ask, that's weird. You know, CDPR just released the Cyberpunk expansion. Nobody said a word about the whole DLC expansion thing, right? What's going on there? That's because when Cyberpunk very first talked about this stuff, in their first time, they said, we are going to have DLC, and we are also going to have paid expansions. That's why it's okay that they do that. The Tarkov guys did not. What they did was they said all future DLC is included in this price.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they didn't make any differentiation between anything. They just said DLC, downloadable content. So they themselves set the precedent saying, we are calling all of our content DLC in the future, and you get it all for free. So because they said that, they have built a wall around any argument they have, like any type of deniability, like they have completely removed because they decided to define that themselves.
Yeah.
And it's, it's the fact that they would then try to come out and call the PvE thing something different. We have a word for that. That's called fraud. That's fraud. Is what that is. It would be different. It would be different if they, at some point in the cost of the 150 pack, mentioned there could be other content that is purchasable, but they didn't. So people bought the 150 with the definition of DLC being all future content, and that it was free. So it's like anything they do at this point.
Come on down to Zeke's Paints. All red paint is 75% off. That's crimson. That doesn't count. That's crimson. That is not red paint. Okay.
That's cherry. That's crimson. That's burgundy. That's light red, not red. Light red. Yeah. That's slightly darker red.
Exactly.
That is normal red.
Here's the best
part. It's
part.
not red. It's normal red.
Here's the best part. We can crack all the jokes we want, but like, I'm just going to read the lead community manager's post in Discord, and it's funnier than anything that either of you will ever come up with.
By the way, says, before you do this, I just want to state, the best part about this situation is that what JP is about to read is the first of many steps down.
Yes.
Here we go. Go for it.
Quote, DLC means additional downloadable content. PvE is a feature and a game mode. Just because you all want it to become a DLC, it wouldn't mean it is one. It's a featured game mode for the new edition of the game.
Oh, excuse me, community manager. I'm so sorry that I did not correctly define DLC. Please give me a pass on this one. I'm sorry.
Man, and that wasn't like a one-off comment. They doubled down on it. They tweeted it out. There's a tweet from 3 days ago. It says PvE mode is a unique feature which is available only for the owners of the Unheard edition. We will keep you updated on new features exclusive for EOD owners. And so
do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you read the very first line again?
PvE mode is a unique feature which is available only for the owners of the Unheard edition.
Okay, now what's the line about the downloadable content? Is that the next one?
Well, the downloadable content that's from Discord. This is just a tweet.
Okay.
Yeah. That was from their official
that
Twitter.
That line itself was insane. It was something on the lines of like, DLC is content you download to play your game. But this, it's like, no, but this.
Yeah.
PvE is something you download to play the game.
Yeah.
Like you literally defined it, and then when the follow-up thing fit the definition, didn't address that.
Yeah.
It's like, but you just said that's what it is.
So
what? Did I just get Uno reversed twice?
To keep the story moving, there's been some updates to it. On the 26th, Polygon says, in response to the players' complaints concerning the Unheard Edition, again, the silliest name, Battlestate Games announced on Reddit that the Edge of Darkness owners, which is the original $150 pack, will receive some features beyond gameplay perks like the ability to skip daily quests for free, unique clothing and armbands, and the faster return on insured items. The developers promise owners will get access to the new PvE mode for 6 months. And that's it, along with high priority matching for this same length of time. So they're going to give you 6 months of the new PvE mode for $150. And if you want to keep playing it after that, it'll be $250.
And some of the best part about that is like they got pressed like, why would you do that? And their argument was something along the lines of like their technical limitations. Like, we can't just have everyone playing, and it's just like, maybe you should have thought about that before you did all this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Really?
So that was the
You're gonna
26th.
use technical issues as your excuse?
Yeah. And now Chad is telling me that as of this morning,
Oh yeah, it changed this morning too.
they changed it again. What did they change? I have not seen today's update. What was today's update? Do you know?
When I asked for today's update, apparently it's from Nikita this time. He is walking it back. I don't know what he's walking back, but apparently it's but it sounded like maybe they were kind of trying to do a hard reset after realizing there was no way out of where they were going.
Okay, this is 8 hours ago. I could just read it. It says, greetings. Let me continue my feedback on the current situation. First of all, I would like to say that I'm very sorry for the fans of the game community in general are experiencing these feelings.
Yeah, sorry guys that you feel that way.
You know, part of me hopes that that's just like a lost in translation thing. But
no, I love apologies that apologize for the other person. That is great.
Yeah, like that. Man. Whew, okay, I gotta get through this. Unfortunately, I somehow did not foresee the fact of such a reaction, and now I have drawn conclusion for my future decisions. Now I will briefly summarize the main points. Number 1, about PvE access. We decided to just open it for EOD owners for free, but we will do it in waves. As I said before, we don't have the server capacity right now. We will start this process as soon as possible. Number 2, we also decided that we will add mod support for the PvE mode after release of the game. Number 3, about the Unheard Edition. We will not remove it. We want to keep the option for those who want to support the game more. But we will balance items, perks in this edition, as well as we will provide some rewards for those who upgraded with the old price. Number 4, new EOD perks will be balanced too. We will remove prioritized matching option to keep everyone in the same spot. And we will add more unique stuff to highlight the EOD version in general. We will provide the final list of new EOD perks ASAP. Number 5, we continue to work on patches, new content, events, and the game releases itself no matter what. Thank you for your time, love and hate, and thank you for your increased attention to this current situation. Is he like missing the point entirely?
One quick thing, just to be clear, there's no apology in here anywhere.
Yeah.
This is very much we're doing this because you forced us to, not because we want to.
Yeah, the closest thing he gets to is, first of all, I would like to say that I'm very sorry that fans in the game community in general are experiencing these feelings.
We call that a non-apology. that is not no.
That's the closest
so
he gets.
No. You can't say you're sorry that someone else feels the way they do.
What was the Hasbro comment? There was like a Hasbro.
I'm sorry you jumped out in front of my car.
I will say though, I was
driving 50 in a 25.
It is super important to mention this is a very nuanced thing we're talking about, and I don't think Nikita's first language is English.
Yeah. That's why I was saying maybe it was lost in translation.
I do think there's a very good chance that just may be the issue here.
Maybe so.
Meanwhile, over on Helldivers, be sure to, this is up from their Twitter, be sure to check out the deals in the acquisition center today. With prices so low, they're practically unheard of.
Yeah.
True believers can grab the CM21 Trench Paramedic for only $250, featuring the pocket size and extra sims, not available for free to super citizens.
Yeah. Everyone was memeing on
it. And then, yeah, even Rust was responding to their tweets. Like,
yeah.
What a mess, man.
It's just an absolute mess. Just an absolute shit show. And the community, like, I've seen
like the DayZ Twitter. No.
Oh, even DayZ, man, that's.
Oh, you know,
DayZ needs to not do that, dude. what does DayZ say?
Oh man.
I don't even know what they said. What did they say?
They said, for no reason at all, I would like to remind you that if you buy or own DayZ. So they're just saying. Okay, so it says, for no reason at all, I would just like to remind you that if you buy or own DayZ base game, you will get the DayZ Livonia DLC for free with update 1.25. To clarify, the Livonia DLC will no longer be sold separately once update 1.25 is released on stable branches, existing DayZ base owners, blah, 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 blah. Furthermore, we'll be adding a new addition to our merch store. Just use code PAY2WIN with a 4 as the A to get the DayZ starter loot bundle for only $250. Is what they tweet. It's not even like a good one. It says update the $250 DayZ starter loot bundle is now sold out. Thank you. Limited stock because we can't give it to everyone. It's too expensive and technically hard. The true believers will get to enjoy the bundle for 6 months.
Yo, so just I'm gonna read this directly from chat. This is from a chat member, but I didn't know about this. There's also a ton more involved in the story with BSG. Please don't get it all confused. They made some really horrible statements that were aimed at the community, which has enraged them even further. Those parts are vital to the whole thing. Nikita specifically stated when tripling down in an interview with the Tarkov emissaries, quote, "We will see who the true believers are."
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
That's where that meme came
That's
from.
the actual quote. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
No, it's
from
It's a shit show. It's a shit show. Don't play Tarkov. Stop. just don't play Tarkov. It's not at a good spot.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
And the fact, what's even crazier is to think that's how they view their community.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, I mean,
but in their mind, it's like the true believers are the ones that just like go with it. Is that what they're saying? Like, it's just weird, man. Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
Very weird.
It's one of those things where it's like there's no. When I heard it was called the Unheard of edition, and then they were charging it for $250, I was like, oh, that's really easily memeable, right? Like that's a joke, right? And then it just got worse as I continued to read all the stuff. And this is coming from someone. I think both me and Co have purchased like very.
Dude,
overpriced.
Escape from Tarkov is it's awesome. Escape from Tarkov, the game is awesome. It literally made a genre. Like and that's the worst part about this is the fact that Escape from Tarkov is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
it sucks to see a game that cool. Like it sucks to see this happen to it. It's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah. It gives space though. It gives space to hopefully someone else because it seems like they haven't really made any good decisions in a while. I know Gray Zone is kind of on the up and up right now.
Yeah, that's the one that just came out last week, right?
Yeah, well, it was a week-long creator-only thing, I think. And tomorrow they're announcing, according to my chat, they're announcing the early access date. So I did not play it, but I did see a bunch of people, a bunch of different creators that were playing it and spoke pretty highly.
I heard the general consensus was like good start.
Yeah, but
most of the people I talked to were like, yeah, it needs some. It's not ready to compete with EFT yet.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. So yeah, Tarkov and it's in a weird spot. It's in a weird, and it doesn't seem like they've gotten the apology correct, and they've had 4 attempts at this point.
Man,
it's just not good. It's not going well. It's not going well there. So
yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it, and I'm sure the community will too. And we'll see what happens. Until then, don't buy a $250 edition that has like a lot of like straight up pay to win stuff, as well as things that people are quoting as fraud. which I've heard multiple. I think I saw Anne's tweet, which was just a link to fraud to like report on the government.
From Anne?
Yeah, it says I have it right here. Here, let me. I'll send it to you. It's right here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very simple Twitter post.
Yeah. Let's see.
And it's a very straightforward, and it has a link to fraud.gov.
Yeah, report fraud.ftc.gov. It's very Anne, but Anne is like a diehard Tarkov fan, and even she
is like, a diehard Tarkov fan, and she's also a really nice person. So
yeah.
you know when like that stuff is happening. That's oh, it's the report link too. Damn.
Yeah, no, that's why it was straight fucking...
It's not even like the definition link. It's like the get them in trouble link. Woo.
Yeah.
Damn. Whew. What was it? I don't know if it was. I think it was Pirate Software was commenting on it as well. And I think one of the things that he mentioned in a very good point, where he's like, EU is going to rip them to shreds.
Oh,
they're based out of technically they're based out of UK, which isn't in the EU anymore, but there's so much periphery there that they're going to be pissed if they try to push that further. So
yeah, we'll it's a wild thing. It's a wild.
Wait, are they? What do you mean? No, they are not. They are based in Russia. I know they're Russian, but he said that their headquarters was in UK for who knows what legal reasons. But yeah, I didn't know they were in UK either. But he said that they Thor said that they.
They're probably incorporated like the company is in the UK.
The company is based in UK. Okay, cool.
That makes sense. What else? Not really too much to say on this, although it was very interesting watching. I'll introduce the story and then say what was interesting. Garry Newman, the creator of Garry's Mod, put out a tweet that he is removing all Nintendo-related content from their workshop due to a takedown from Nintendo. And so when this initially started, there was reports right after that came out that it was like a fake report, that there's someone is going around within that community and is making like fake reports. He put out another tweet, which looks to be a little bit later in the day, and said, quote, "I've been assured that the takedowns have been verified by Nintendo as legit. So this will continue as planned." And that's kind of all there is for the story at the moment. Classic Nintendo stuff. My favorite aspect of this entire thing is people responding to Garry Newman and saying, "No, that is not real." And telling him that did not act. These aren't real takedowns, Garry. What do you mean, Garry? Just the internet be like, "Nah, dude, you're lying. This is a lie. Like, why would you just lie?" So that was a fun one. But also like Nintendo, what the fuck? I wonder what triggered it now, because they've been using like Nintendo stuff has been in Garry's Mod for years. I saw one article that was actually saying, and this might be a hard thing to describe to the two of you. I don't know if you're aware of what Skibidi Toilet is. Are you aware?
Sir, I have kids.
Okay. Okay.
My son knows every lyric by heart to that.
Good. A lot of people are saying that got so big that Nintendo finally caught wind of what was happening and saw the like amount of views and money that generated, and we're like, all right, fuck it, we're taking it down. And then it all spawned, and that it all came from Garry's Mod.
Skibidi might be kind of big, but I mean, Pow World. And I feel like that would have been a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I feel like Disney's kind of happy doing their own thing. They went kind of copyright heavy in the last couple decades, but I mean, have they been doing that a lot recently?
You mean Nintendo? You mean? Yeah. I mean, they've definitely.
I mean, they used to do it. Down. They used to be scared of them, kind of thing. But I feel like it's gotten a lot less.
I think they've done a lot of stuff with.
Try singing a Disney song now. Okay.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of stuff with. Like not within our world, but in the emulation world and all that stuff.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
they have kind of shifted focus there a little bit. What's a Skibidi Toilet? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think Zeke's watching it right now, so you can kind of watch the mind of a man slowly devolving into, yeah, it's a thing. Welcome to the Skibidi Toilet cinematic universe.
Oh, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing.
You got to start from episode 1 because the lore goes real hard.
I think the proper order, the chronological order is movie 1, 4, 6, 2, 13, 3, 11, 4, 10, 15, 7. So if you're wanting to get the whole story, that's the best way to do it. And then you have to watch the 3 different series. Then there's the main series, of course.
Yeah.
And then you have to get the 3 handheld games and play through those because there's some lore in those. They're all handhelds.
That's correct.
So
yeah. I think there's like 100 parts to that now. So a lot of lore. A lot of boomers right now in chat are freaking out over what's happening. I think Zeke's in though. He understands it. He gets it.
Yep, he's in.
So there's 100 parts, but they're like little tiny, little snips.
Yeah,
little snips.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's funny is there's actually a story and there's actually lore.
Yeah.
Like we're making jokes of it, but no, it's completely real.
Oh,
like,
I was dead serious. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's
a lot of 100% a thing.
A lot of lore.
And it's just like G-Man. It's Half-Life. That's the best part. I love that it's Half-Life. Like this ancient.
It's the G-Man.
But yeah. But still, it's so great. I love that every time I see it, it's nostalgic a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, those old models.
And the reason why it's so big. What's the total views on the episode you're watching, Zeke?
I'm watching like the long play, like the whole thing.
Oh,
back to back. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
How long is it?
Hour and 26. Almost an hour and 27.
About a movie.
Kind of wild if you think how big Skibidi Toilet is, and to think like that's how much actual content there is. Not much at all, really.
Yeah. It's big.
How can there be lore behind this?
Well,
because it just keeps going. It just builds on itself. It just keeps building on itself.
Zeke,
Little things will happen, Easter eggs here and there. Like it just keeps going.
Yeah, the toilets continue to get more and more allies.
They start making like sides. There starts becoming like special units on each side. There starts getting to be like gigantic ones and teams and raids and whole 9 yards, man. It just keeps going.
Oh, I see what's okay. I see what's going on now. Now there's an army of toilet heads versus an army of, I want to say, video camera heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cameramen.
That's one I'm watching right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh,
we gotta be careful.
Yeah, let's not spoil it for all the people that are about to spend an afternoon watching Skibidi Toilet.
I guarantee you, in the 10,000 plus people that are listening to our voice right now, one of them is going to watch the entirety of the Skibidi Toilet.
Oh, absolutely.
So we don't want to spoil it for that one person.
Yeah.
Now it's just like 4 bars of a song over and over again, just with different like slow speed up, slowed down.
You're saying that the whole thing?
Yeah, it seems like
no. It's new stuff. They introduce new characters, new lines, new.
I'm talking about the music, background music.
Oh,
it seems like it's the same every.
I don't know.
Somebody in my chat said, "Yeah, don't Skibidi spoil it."
Yeah,
mods.
Yeah,
mods, address that, please.
Okay. Here's some God, this is like the fucking boomerest podcast of all time. Here's some fun view numbers around this so people can understand how big this thing is. YouTube videos associated with Skibidi Toilet have accumulated over 65 billion views. The social media platform TikTok, Skibidi Toilet hashtag, was trending and compromised 15.3 billion views. By December 2022, the channel Da Fuck Boom had amassed 37 million subscribers. That's where Skibidi Toilet premieres, experiencing rapid growth, which on occasion had surpassed the growth of Mr. Beast, the second most subscribed channel on YouTube. So yeah, it's we're not kidding when we say it's a big thing.
Well, with all of these, like, I'm sure there's so many people just playing, replaying, and all that kind of shit. Like, what is the original YouTube channel that it comes from?
Da Fuck Boom.
It is Da Fuck Boom. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, this is the boomerist. I've never felt so old in this moment. I have felt old many a times, but never has my feeling old bone been this.
It's the new God. I remember going over to my buddy to my mod and friend Scott's house, and his kids would not stop singing that goddamn Yoda Seagulls song from the bad lip reading.
Yeah, exactly.
3 old men discovering Skibidi Toilet? No, 2 old men discovering.
No, it's one old man. It's this guy over here. I know I'm hip with the kids. Okay.
Don't ever say that again.
I jive with the children.
I have never been into YouTube, dude. I've never been into YouTube. I mean, I'd rather pay a service for people who actually, write and put thought into like storytelling and like that kind of shit. Like that's why I never got into YouTube.
Fair enough.
I don't want to see idiots acting like assholes. I look at that every day in the mirror.
Fair.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's fair.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show. Yeah. Anyways, Skibidi Toilet, go watch it or don't. Moving along. We have some Switch 2 news. Where does this actually... So there's a bunch of rumors going around. This was from a Facebook post, which has since been edited by Chinese manufacturer MobaPad. I don't know what MobaPad makes, but they revealed some information about
it's not MOBAs. I'm going to be kind of angry.
Maybe. Well, it's a pad. So maybe it's... I don't know.
Is it a pad you play MOBAs on?
I'm Googling it. What is MobaPad?
It's like one of those cushions from Final Fantasy.
Optimize your Switch gaming. What? Oh, it's controllers that go on the side of this. Okay. MOBA pads are like replacement Joy-Cons for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. Okay. So they revealed some additional information on the next console by Nintendo. I think this was a different leak, but one of the leaks was that it's coming out at the end of 2024. They also go on to say in this Facebook post that it will support both the current Pro Controller and Joy-Con controllers, as well as HD Rumble. But there are new Joy-Con controllers, which will have a smaller motor. And the other big stuff is that the Joy-Con controllers will be backwards compatible. However, it won't be possible to attach them to the console in handheld mode due to the new horizontal magnetic docking system. So you'll have to, I guess, always keep them charged. The other big thing, which is arguably the bigger thing, in my opinion, in this potential rumor / leak, they revealed that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be fully backwards compatible with both physical and digital versions of the Switch games. The new console will also retain the USB-C port for docking, which will be compatible with the new generation of docks, featuring minor design improvements, such as a metal bracket for improved angle adjustment. And then, as previously rumored, the console screen will be slightly bigger than that of the original console and support 1080p resolution. So they're not really scaling up in...
Oh my God, 1080p! Holy fuck!
Look,
oh my God! I gotta go get one now!
Look, if they can do 1080-60 and it's a steady 60...
Oh God. Yeah, steady?
Fuck it, I'll buy it. I'm there day zero.
I'll get it in a second.
So is everyone.
I just want to play Xenogears again, man.
Yeah, Xenogears, fucking Zelda,
whatever
fucking
it is.
anything.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Any of the games. A steady 60? You kidding me? And it's backwards compatible. Fucking Nintendo's done it again.
I'd get in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I might actually play Zelda.
Yeah, right. Totally. The big thing is they didn't say anything about FPS in this leak. So if the rumor is true that it's coming out Q4 2024, then maybe we see some about it this summer. You would think.
Q2 2024?
Q4 2024. Yeah.
Still,
so like holiday. Holiday is basically what it's targeting.
What is I'm not familiar with this. What's Nintendo like with its release? Do we have a pattern with Nintendo in terms of like when they announce when they release?
It's usually pretty close, like a couple months out. At least like
Really?
the Switch and all that stuff was.
So it very well could happen.
Yeah. I mean, we could very well see something at Summer Game Fest, or all of this is just rumor, and who knows, right? Like we're going off rumors here at the end of the day. But I would love backwards compatibility. I would love a steady 1080 60. We'll see.
That 60 is the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was real tough finishing Xeno. Like,
dude,
it just hurt. Just hurt.
I mean, for me, it's Zelda. I stopped playing. I did everything possible to make Zelda look and run as good as I could without downloading the Switch 2. And it sucked. It sucked. And then I saw Goth and like all these other streamers with playing 4K 60. And you motherfucker, that looks so good. It looks so impressive. You sons of bitches.
Big same.
Yeah. But I didn't want to risk it. So
yeah, same.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what goes on with that. Insider Gaming, who usually is right about a lot of these rumors. Co, you kind of talked about this, I think, in that tweet, and we talked about it last week after the Fallout TV show. Apparently, Xbox wants the next Fallout game to come sooner.
Fucking what?
You don't?
Come on.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Presently, it is expected that the next Fallout game won't arrive until the 2030s. And I guess if you think about the timeline,
accurate.
That makes sense.
And it'll still be buggy and not run well.
Even though that, that just seems like sci-fi for me to say, like, oh yeah, it'll be out in the 2030s. No, that's 6 years from now. That tracks. They just put out Starfield. It'll be 2 or 3 years for Elder Scrolls 6.
And Co will still play the buggy, unoptimized mess into the ground. Oh, of course, 100% run. Calling it now.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, most people
Absolutely.
will. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. I do wonder though if they are planning to speed it up. There's no way that they could get that game announced before season 2, right? Of Fallout. That would be like a season 3.
They could announce whatever they want. I mean,
yeah,
that's true.
Here's the thing though. Like, I mean, Bethesda would have to change how it operates as a company.
True.
I mean, that would be. They have pipelines. They have mechanisms. They have departments that function certain ways. Like turning. They can't delay ES6. That would cause riots. And it's not like they're gonna. I mean, if they were to announce like, yeah, we're gonna delay ES6 for a Fallout game, like their fan base would riot. Their fan base is still chafed about ESO. Well, the ones that don't like multiplayer. So last thing they're gonna want is something like that. So I don't see them changing anything, to be honest. I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to push the hell out of 76, and I think they're going to do everything they can to connect the show with 76, which you're already doing with the promotions and the backpacks and stuff like that. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to try to like reinvent their entire product pipeline wheel for this.
Yeah.
If they were, maybe Fallout Shelter 2.
Wait.
No, I'm serious. Like something like mobile, something that's easier to push out.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe Bethesda wouldn't make it.
I mean, what if Obsidian's already working on something?
Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me, Go. Don't you do that.
Could be.
New Vegas 2.
No, but that would, I mean, from a Microsoft perspective, that seems like it would be a win. I mean, then you have Bethesda working on its flagship titles and not having to do anything. ES6 will still be a huge promo. You get another studio working on a Fallout thing. That way you get to go on the Fallout IP. Make it Obsidian. Everyone loves New Vegas. So, I mean, it's like, that could be a win and keep everything going as normal. Now, the only issue there is Obsidian is currently completely overloaded. Obsidian is currently working on Avowed. Obsidian has announced the Outer Worlds 2 over a year ago. They're working on that. They're still doing grounded stuff, although they did just release the last major update. So maybe that's going to free up some resources. They have another project they're working on. I think a mobile thing. They got a lot on their plate. The idea of them just, shoehorning in a Fallout game is not really something I think
just makes me one of those Fallouts.
Hey, could y'all just throw a Fallout together? That last new Arizona one was good. Could you make one of those?
There you go.
No, I don't think that's going to work. So they have a lot going on, and they are also front and centered with Avowed right now. I mean, we just had the big showcase into last year, so
yeah.
Who where's that article coming from, JP?
This is on. Sorry, I'm now trying to find it. I think it was Insider Gaming is who was reporting it, and they're pretty reputable.
Okay.
Let me find it.
Yeah, Insider Gaming gets a lot right.
Yeah.
Grant
Taylor Hill is the journalist on it. Yeah.
But it's it's also like it's just like our reaction was like Xbox wants a new Fallout game, like fucking duh.
Oh no, guys, that's obviously that's what Larian's working on.
Do you know how that would actually cause the internet would explode? Like an actual explosion would happen if fucking Sven and Phil, when they met to get that Xbox thing done, to get Baldur's Gate 3 out on the Xbox, they also said, why don't you make a new Fallout? That would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, but also there's no fucking way it's coming out in 5 years, let alone 3 or next year.
Yeah, sure.
If Larian actually made a Fallout game, I would get the Vault Boy tattooed on my neck.
Okay, where are we talking? Let's, we gotta
right there,
right here,
right there.
Are we saying visible outside of the collar? Okay,
absolutely.
Okay,
above collar.
Above.
Why don't you get the Vault Boy coming out of your ear canal?
You know what, Zeke? If it happens, I'll consult with you. We'll talk then.
Zeke,
just go ahead and jot these ideas down and keep them to yourself.
Okay.
And I'll.
Well,
ping
the last few ideas you didn't comment on, Co. So I'm getting the feeling that you're not actually reading them.
Oh,
are you reading them?
I those emails were great. I remember them fondly.
But I mean, you didn't say anything about Potato Co. Because I thought that would be a great you dress up like a potato.
I thought Tater Co
that was a
great
good idea. I think.
I think you were drunk. There was a lot of misspellings in that email, Zeke.
Doesn't make it a bad idea.
We'll circle back to it.
We'll circle back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also just this is a quick.
We're tabling this for now.
We'll give some note. One note on the idea though. I can't physically become a potato like you suggested. I am a person. That wouldn't work. And then the idea
of don't you have access to things
that idea about deep frying and eating myself on stream also would probably not.
Well, I wasn't suggesting you eat anything vital, like a finger, like French fry finger. You know what? I'll workshop it. I'll get it back to you. Okay. I still think it's a great idea.
Excellent.
But also look at my other ideas too, please.
I will.
Okay.
I blacked out. What just happened?
Just another one of me and Zeke's weekly catch-up meetings.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm back.
He's missed the last 10.
I'm back. Yeah. Whew. Speaking of Fallout, that next gen update rolled out. Man.
You know what the funny part was? I never planned on playing it. I never did. The second I heard it, I was like, a big new Fallout 4 update. But Bethesda's gonna this right up, man. They're just gonna something horrible is gonna happen. There's no way this is gonna go smoothly. And first thing I read about it,
it just fucked everything.
Total cluster. Total cluster.
Dude,
oh my god.
So I didn't play it. I'm going off of just second and third hand commentary around it. Apparently, ultra widescreen was supposed to be patched, but it's just a stretched image. It's not even ultra wide. They just stretched the
One
image.
of the largest total conversion mods in history came out like
Fallout
a week
London,
ago, and they broke it.
Yeah, Fallout London's indefinitely delayed, so they had to wait on that. The Steam Deck verification is apparently all it did was remove the ability to change the graphics settings and forced a bug for OLED
made it
users.
worse. Made it worse.
That made it worse. Broke all the mods, by the way.
Every mod
is broken. A
lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just, thanks for watching our show. Welcome to the Fallout fandom. And then they're just pointing to like a thing on fire, and everyone in the fandom's like, well, no, that's pretty good. They fucked it up. That's how we all got here.
Very apocalyptic. I like this.
Yeah.
Everything burning, falling apart, not working properly. Everything's just dying. You're dead. Yep.
Yeah.
It's such a great LARPing.
It's an abusive relationship. Like, yeah, they fucked it all up, but that's what we love about them, right? Right.
They're so lovably terrible at what they do.
It's crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
On brand. Truer words couldn't have been spoken. On brand. That is very on brand.
Yeah. Apparently, on the Xbox only version, the performance mode does work and puts it to 60 FPS on, I think, the Series X, but you can't disable performance mode. And when you actually do disable it, nothing happens. It stays 60 FPS and the resolution stays the same. So just
fucking these buttons are just painted on. What the shit?
Okay. And yeah, now I'm getting reports that wasn't true. Bethesda clarified. Okay. It's all a mess.
Oh, they did. I saw the tweet.
Fake doors.
I didn't hear about the original thing, but I did see Bethesda's response tweet where it's actually up if you wanted to pull that up.
Oh, okay.
The official, yeah. They got like an official response together and everything.
Let's see. Do you know?
Do they apologize for our feelings?
Yeah.
You can't pause without crashing to desktop.
This shit is terrible.
So you can't save on Windows 11. Somebody just said in chat.
Jesus. Are you talking about where it says quick note on the Fallout 4 next gen update on Xbox Series Z? It actually targets 4K 60 FPS in all modes. Performance mode is more aggressive in lowering settings to maintain this target. Gotcha. Hope this clears up any confusion. Keep the feedback coming, and thanks for playing.
Yeah. They tried to save a little bit there, but
yeah.
Just
a mess. But if anything, that like we were jokingly saying, it's kind of a good welcome to the fandom. And it's what everyone's been kind of dealing with for a while now.
Evan says that was on 11 home version. Lobster Roll says you can save on 11, so it looks like some people are okay with it.
God, it's just all over the place. Just all over
the place. Fuck Windows 11.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You're not on 11, are you, Co? Are you on Windows 11?
My new computer is.
Yes. Oh, your gaming PC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Streaming PC is on 10.
On 10.
I'm not updating it.
Yeah.
So far, 11's been okay. It hasn't blocked me yet at anything, but it's certainly. I really don't like they seem to have stepped back in a lot of ways, especially with the multi-monitor and the bar. I had to download like third-party apps to let me move my bar to the other monitor and stuff. Just a lot of steps backwards. Way oversimplified.
No, 11 is fine. It's why they broke like 10 works great. 10 is great. They didn't need 11. And also like people who are saying 11 is fine. Like I'm guessing not a lot of you like put your shit through the paces that streamers do. I'm not saying like we're, end all be all, but I'm just saying like, there's features that 10 has that 11 fucks up.
Yeah.
That just means 12 is going to be.
It's also more stable, which
really
is more important we need a computer for the stream that's stable. So 10 is good for that.
Yeah.
With OBS and all the apps.
I would honestly,
it's right on the gamer. It's running fine.
I would be 11 on the gaming PC, but 11 doesn't support vMix, which is what we use for this show. So there
you go.
Yeah. Until they
basically like my whole sentiment is we didn't need 11. We don't need it. 10 is fine.
Yeah.
But we got to sell. I get Microsoft needs to sell shit.
If it were up to me, I'd still be using XP.
fucking 7, right?
I used XP as long as I could, man. I mean, I got in trouble at the computer store I was working at because I would keep installing XP instead of Vista on new computers. I was like, I don't want to punish these people. Like, let me just install XP for them.
Co thinks about those hills every day. Those rolling hills. He just can't get enough.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. No, I love January CD Ramathon, people coming in and goes, I miss that sound.
Oh yeah.
I miss that sound.
It's iconic. It's iconic. It's good. It's good. What else do we got? No Blizzcon will be happening in 2024. Blizzard hopes to bring it back again in the future, but like, yeah, I'm sure Xbox was like, hey, you guys gonna do one of those? And Blizzard was like, well, it cost this much money. And then by the time they actually saw the money, it was already canceled. They didn't have any say.
That or Microsoft was like, oh, that's how much it costs? Nope, not doing one of those.
We're not doing one of those.
Maybe ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a blog post. They said, quote, after careful consideration over the last year, we at Blizzard have made the decision not to hold BlizzCon in 2024. The decision was not made lightly, as BlizzCon remains a very special event for all of us, and we know many of you look forward to it. While we're approaching this year differently, as we have explored different event formats in the past, rest assured that we are just as excited as ever to bring BlizzCon back in future years. So they skipped 2020, 2021, and 2022. A lot of that was because COVID, but they also had other stuff happening at the company as well. So yeah. And then they ended kind of the blog post. Our hope is that these experiences, alongside several live streamed industry events where we'll keep you up to date with what's happening in our game universes, will capture the essence of what makes the Blizzard community so special. So there you go. Makes a lot of sense too in terms, like the last BlizzCon, they didn't have much to do to show.
What would they talk about this time if they were to have one?
I don't know. They canceled the survival game, so I think that was supposed to be their next like big
Overwatch 2 stuff is not really a thing,
announcement. Right? Yeah, no, Overwatch is Overwatch, right? Diablo 4 is Diablo 4. They've been doing those
is that why they canceled
fireside chats.
They have nothing to talk about?
They don't have much right now. The D4 X-Packs got announced. I would suspect that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they delay that now at this point.
I wonder if it's the kind of thing where they started BlizzCon like specifically maybe because they wanted to drop a major announcement. Maybe between then and now something happened and they're just like, nah, we got nothing to talk about now. We're just gonna shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. Hope it comes back. BlizzCons, I went to a ton of BlizzCons, and I have very fond memories of all of those, but it's definitely not what it once was.
Let me ask you, JP, since you've been to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Was one of the main highlights of BlizzCon shit they would announce?
Yes. The opening ceremony at BlizzCon and being like, I was there when Overwatch was announced and like, it was it was, I guess I could relate it to like, if you've ever been to a sports, any sports event, basketball, football, whatever, it's on that level where the energy is like fucking crazy. They announce it and people just lose their fucking minds. That Overwatch initial reveal was like pretty crazy. WoW Classic reveal was pretty crazy. You can go watch like the Diablo 4 thing. I think that was in Europe though, so it's not exactly BlizzCon, but they revealed that in BlizzCon, or sorry, at Europe at some event. And it's always like it's like E3, but it's less industry and more just like fandom. In like a massive area. I don't know how many people can fit into that convention center, but it's huge for sure.
Well, the reason why I ask is because, like, I mean, it seems like they could still have a BlizzCon without anything brand new to announce and just celebrate what they have, you know?
Yeah, they don't have much right now. Like, Overwatch is not in a good spot. D4 is kind of struggling. Although it's gotten better since launch in the multiplayer aspect of it. They're definitely making like proper strides. WoW is kind of like on a, I would say, upswing at this point. And that would probably be the only thing that they could really go and do deep dives in, would be War Within stuff. But yeah, it's also a transitional period, right? For the company. They just got picked up. They gotta figure out what Blizzard looks like under that Activision Blizzard, I should say, looks like under the Xbox flag.
Completely.
Because that's a major shift, right?
Which is it's a huge deal for Microsoft to figure out how to navigate that.
Yeah.
And the departure of Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. Regardless of how you feel about Kotick, him leaving is still a massive change for the community.
We're also going to
for the community and the internal,
whatever that's going to bring with it.
Yes.
That could be a huge shakeup potentially as well.
Yep.
That is.
So it makes sense. I wasn't surprised to see that. I don't think many people were surprised to see that. We'll just have to see what happens.
Just kind of pie in the sky here. Can you imagine like Blizzard getting a new CEO and them saying things like, I grew up a fan of the old Blizzard. We're gonna bring back when it's done. Like, there's a door opening for that possibility here in the near future, which is kind of wild to think about.
The fucked up thing is when he goes. It says like
I know holy copium. I know. I'm just
very
saying
copium, but it's also like I grew up with the old Blizzard, and then you start to think what that means today, and it's like, wait, so you grew up with all that shit going on? what? Wait a minute. What do you? Can you give us a date range here? Like, what does this mean? You have to be careful with that.
I like how Rujin says, people like that aren't really CEO material.
Yeah.
Nobody, you're not really wrong. Yeah, you're not really wrong.
But I get what you're saying.
The idea was good while it lasted, and now we're back in reality.
It's wild how that pool has been fucking tainted so bad. Like people have there's been a constant stream of piss going into that pool for about 5 years at this point. It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It does keep it warm though.
It does.
Oh no, sir. Come on now.
It's true. Man, this is a fun news section. You guys hear about Elite Dangerous and their new stuff?
No.
They announced that they are now charging for ships within the game. I need to find the full update on this so that I get everything. But essentially, they're Star Citizening it up. Which is, I'm wondering if Barry could probably.
I really hope this is just like an April Fool's joke gone awry or something.
This is Python MK2 and updates to the game store. Let me just scan through this real quick. This year will see us celebrate the 10th year anniversary. Gameplay edition and changes. Game store and pricing.
Pre-built ships right there.
Ship variants and pre-built ships. Yeah. Here, let me blow up the text. We're also going to be excited to bring ship variants into Elite throughout the year, and we're looking forward to seeing how you make use of each one. Starting with the Python MK2, we are pleased to announce that this will be available in-game for Odyssey players on the 7th for credits at shipyards across the galaxy. However, if you cannot wait until then, you can get a 3-month early access to the ship on the 7th of May from the store for 16,250 ARCs. Non-Odyssey owners will be able to access ship variants from the store for ARCs. I don't know what ARCs must be. Their like digital currency. So I don't know what that. Anyone know the conversion there?
So for if there are any experienced Elite Dangerous people right now, a Python Mark II, it says there, kickstart your career in the latest ship. Is a Python Mark II like the best ship? What is that? Like, how does that compare?
They're saying it's a brand new ship.
Oh, it's okay. It's not. Oh, okay.
First new ship in 5 years.
First new ship in 5 years. It is not the best ship. All ships have different roles. Okay. It's just a new mid-range ship. Okay. So they're only selling the new ship.
Yeah. to celebrate their 10-year anniversary.
How much? Okay. How much is it? 16,000 ARC?
Yeah.
Now, of course, it is only the ship, but we're introducing a new category. So I wonder, like, how many of these are there going to be? Is the entire man? This is wild.
16,800 ARCs is available for 10 euros on their elitedangerous.com/store. So about $10 for the chip. And then they also have the cosmetics items. Bestseller section will be added to the game store, including some of our most popular items. You can purchase Midnight Black Stygian and Chromed all year round.
They're letting people pre-order the new ship, says Raxlian, but also letting new players skip engineering grind and buy some weak engineered ship.
So it's like pay to skip.
Now, hold on. The only thing I will say, though, is it does say, didn't it say something about being better than the base model or an updated from base? Yeah, right here. An opportunity to purchase ships that have been given a significant upgrade from their base models. So I think the idea is that it would be, like in this case, a Python Mark II that is much better than what you could get. But now some people in chat are saying that's bad. I'm not sure what that means. Okay.
So my understanding is it's nowhere near what like Star Citizen offers in terms of what you can buy, but it's potentially the start of that ball rolling.
And more importantly, it's introducing monetization into a game portion that has not seen monetization up until this point. So it's going to be really interesting to see like how their community reacts to that. This is going to be a huge change to the game.
Yeah.
It's also going to be a huge change in how they deliver content, because now this company, which the community is already like not the most happy with in terms of how much they develop, they are now going to be spending their time and resources making content that is pay gated instead of stuff for things that are either already in updates for the game or in paid expansions for the game that they, people are already waiting on. So that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how that's going to like kind of play out.
Yeah. I just saw people were not super excited by the whole thing. So
understandably, yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. See if I don't think anything has been announced in terms of changes to that. I only saw just that article. So
also somebody earlier in chat said that there's 4 more ships coming and that they're going to be, some of them are going to be bigger.
Oh, in terms of stuff that you can buy, like the pre-built stuff?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if that's announced somewhere. There's a link. But if there is, that'd be great if you could.
Yeah, link us for sure. If I just go to their website, let's see. Community, do they have a blog? They do not. Oh, that's... Go to elitedangerous.com/community and scroll down. It says currently no community goals are available. I don't know what that means, but that's not a good look. News. What is this? The last news is on the 24th, which is what this is. It just says engineering and pre-built ships, which is what we were just looking at. So, yeah, we'll see. See what happens. We skipped some stuff last week as it pertains to Twitch news. Not really anything crazy or big. It's more just, I guess, an update to potential viewers of the stream or anyone that has a long-standing subscription on the platform. Twitch had to issue, it was a big enough deal that they had to issue a formal email to people. I had, I think, 600+ month subscriptions that were just straight up canceled. My understanding is that this was not a Twitch thing and this was more an Exola thing. Do you guys know the specifics on that?
I heard it was an Exola issue.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's what it...
Yeah. So Twitch put up, if you go to your subscriptions page, it'll actually tell you what subscriptions were impacted, if at all, on the far right column. And then you can just start that again and they'll make sure that you keep your sub streak. They're also issuing, it's Says, we found some long-standing reoccurring subscribers of your channel did not renew correctly in March and April. We worked with our payment processor to resolve this issue. That's Xsola. To make it right, we're issuing a one-time payment to reflect the value of the 1 month subscriptions canceled. This will be included as part of your next payout. We recognize this is an inconvenience, and we apologize for the frustration it's caused. This is also a disappointing experience for your affected subs. If they resubscribe by May the 6th, we'll also be able to restore their sub streak. So there is a time limit on that. We'll add 1 month
May
to
6th.
we'll add 1 month to their streak to correct for the last month. If your community have any questions, please reach out to support@twitch.tv. So
I had a couple that were still on like old old payment systems and shit like that. I got an email saying like, hey, these 3 people, you got to resub to them before May 6th. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So just, if you check whatever email you use for Twitch, check that and see if you got an email from them.
Yep.
If you are concerned with sub streaks.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a bunch of subs that were just like, oh, I got canceled and they were affected by this. It's just because if something changed with Xsola, and that's what kind of canceled it. So yeah. That's kind of it. They really silly. They changed travel and outdoors directory back to IRL for the category on Twitch. It doesn't really impact the 3 of us, but it does impact Twitch. Integrator scale, I suppose. It's so
was IRL gone?
Yeah. It was travel and
okay.
outdoors. They changed it. They changed IRL to travel and outdoors, and now they changed it back. So now it's IRL for that category. And that's kind of it in terms of the Twitch news. The Senate voted. We already kind of talked about this, but just to keep people updated, TikTok will be banned if ByteDance refuses to sell. It's now going to President Biden's desk to sign. Most people believe it will most likely be signed and put into effect. So they have 1 year to divest TikTok, or it will be banned in the US, which is kind of silly. But we talked about that. Oh, it was already signed. Okay. I missed that. And then ByteDance apparently also announced that they will not sell. So that'll be a fun thing to follow over the next couple of, I guess, 11 months, 9 months, something like that. I think that's it. Chad, anything that we missed news-wise? Metaphor?
Yes,
what
something specifically that I hold dear.
Let's hear it.
Labia.
What?
Stellar Blade, the edits.
Oh. Jeez.
Never change,
I
Zeke.
looked at that and I was like, wow, that is super silly and hilarious. That people are like, yeah.
Which part? The fucked up thing is, I didn't know what you were talking about, and then the second that you said Stellar Blade, I know exactly what you're talking about, but it's so stupid that I don't even want to talk about it.
I know. It was worth that one little like, ha, and then we can move on. That's all it was. It was just like an outfit in Stellar Blade got in a recent update. They took the crotch outline
1.0
and they smoothed the crotch outline so you can't like see some things, and it was just like it's something that was fun to watch, like the reactions to that, and like go down the tweets of like completely unserious people getting mad about it a little bit. It was fucking hilarious, and that's all it was to it, really.
My favorite like meme I saw around it. You guys remember? Have you seen the Matrix meme where it's I forget his character's name, but it's like the Morpheus is fighting Neo guy when he like pops his head into the room. So this one was vagina bone discussion is back on the internet or something like that. It was him popping his head in, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on the internet? It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. That whole fucking thing. I was just, Oh God, I was just so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
So
I forgot to. It's camel toe. That's they removed the camel toe. That's what they did, and it was just like apparently a thing for enough people that it got to meet a person who's not like doesn't have his finger on the pulse of anything.
Yeah. It's the Twitter outrage. You got to farm it. Stellar Blade did come out though. Co's still playing it. I've only spent like 90 minutes, or I'm gonna play some more today. So Co, I played the demo. I was already on board. You're playing it and still playing it? Are you liking it?
I am playing it. I played it for the first time yesterday for about 4 hours, and I played it for a couple hours before the show today. And I have a thoughts video up. It is it's great. Game is really solid. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm liking the progression. The enemy stuff is really weird. I'm actually digging the story, and kind of it's very overtly influenced by other mediums. But I am definitely interested in seeing what they're going to do with all these puzzle pieces that they're putting on the table here. Because there's a couple directions they could go with it. I think there's some really, really cool things they can do with it, or some really lame things. So it's like, I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But no, that being said, I think the best way I can say it with this game is when I saw this game, it was very, very booba, very butta. And the unfortunate reality that we live in is that a lot of times when games angle towards sexualization, there is the undeniable reality that it can affect gameplay. Games are generally really sexy. They kind of they rely on that to propel, and generally may not really flesh out the whole gameplay side of them.
Yeah.
We see that over and over. Every so often there are, of course, major exceptions to this. Nier being a great example.
Bayonetta.
And Bayonetta being another one. Absolutely. There's lots of great examples. I am very pleased to say that I feel like this is another exact version of that, where very similar to halfway through the Fallout series, I was like, yeah, dude, I'd love this even if it wasn't Fallout. I feel the same way about this game. I could be playing an overweight guy with one eye and a peg leg, and I'd still be having a great time with this game. Like, it's just a great game. So I think that's what's really kind of fun about this. Is it does
play idea peg leg.
I think what's really fun about this is that it has both. It has like an actual fun, engaging, cool game. The story's been kind of interesting so far. And then it also has the just overtly sexual, like to the point where it's just, this is obviously like overcharacterized and just for fun. And that changes the whole feel of the game, but it's still just a really fun game to play. So yeah, it's been good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. How much of I don't know where you're at in the game. So how much of like the combat have you unlocked? Because in the demo, it skipped ahead after the initial boss of the demo. Yeah. I was gonna say it skipped ahead, right? So I got to experience a lot of the not late game, but I would say later game that had a bunch more stuff in it I wasn't expecting in terms of combat. So have you unlocked much of it?
I don't think so. I've just killed the first boss, and it was a very fun fight. And I'm getting to the point where I think I'm about to unlock a ranged weapon, but I don't have one. I didn't even know there were ranged weapons in the game.
Yeah.
I do have like the blocking and the blue and the purple pulses and the dodging and perfect parries. Like the system, it has a lot going on, and there's a lot of different ways you can go with it as well. So all that has been good, and I'm loving that part of the game for sure. The combat system has been very enjoyable. The thing to talk about this game that I think is interesting, and this is a design decision, is they have created this interesting delay / queuing system that puts a feel into this game's combat that I don't get with others. And what I mean there is that the whole game feels like there's about a half-second delay. Like it feels like things are have the slightest bit of queuing. But what I've found with that is not only is it small enough to not really affect my gameplay, but parry seems to not be on that system. So there'll be this weird thing where you're like mashing through a combo, and then all of a sudden you'll see the enemy start to react. And even though your combo is clearly a little bit delayed, that parry timing is perfect. So I wonder if that was the point. I wonder if they wanted to kind of artificially slow down combat a bit to open up the parry, the block system, that kind of thing. There's a reaction system that's all tied into it. So because their system is so reaction based, I think they tried to tune the system around that, and you can feel that. Now, unfortunately, what that also means is that there is this kind of slight chunkiness to the combat system. There's this slight kind of a slowness to it.
Like a thickness, maybe?
Yeah, but only if you use 2 C's at the end of it.
Okay.
Then I think that kind of more, sticks to what I'm trying to say by it. But no, it does have a feel. There's a noticeable feel. It's not huge. It's not what I would say like a delay, but it's noticeable. And but it is the kind of thing that once you really start playing with it more and more, not only does it become intuitive, but I am pretty, as somebody who doesn't nail quite as many parries as I usually do in this game. Like I'm parrying a little better than normal in this game, and I think that might be why.
Yeah. It also feels really good when you parry.
Yes.
That was the one thing I really took away from the demo was not only am I parrying more, and you feel more badass because of it, but the whole, like the game reacting to your parry just feels really cool. It feels great.
Not only that, but like at this point you get like options for your parry. So you can perfect parry up to stun them and then do a fatality, or at any point when you perfect parry, you can hold down X to swing behind them, and then hold down another thing to attack them and start a new combo from the other side of them. In some cases, like with enemies with shield and stuff, huge deal. So I mean, it's very cool. I love that about the system, and that stuff all came through perks as well. Which you can go all sorts of different directions with.
Yeah,
I don't even have 2 of the trees unlocked when I look in my perk system.
Yeah.
So a lot going on there.
Yeah, seems like there's a lot just to do, I guess, in combat. It seems like it's always evolving. I'm curious because I've only played the demo stuff. This was part of the demo right here, and it goes up until kind of the fight, the boss fight here. After that, are you finding a lot of like, I guess, secrets exist?
Well, there's side stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like I was actually overwhelmed with how many there are. Does that change?
There is side stuff everywhere. And I mean, it's the kind of thing where you have to do that little pulsey thing, look for ledges. You have to look up in this game. There's tons of verticality, and they play with that all the time. So, and I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, no, they can't, they know what they're doing.
Anyway. But yeah, so it's the kind of thing where it's yes, it does not stop. If anything, there may become more more side stuff to do. The levels kind of open up a little bit, so a little bit more like of a circular area than just like a little straight area with a little branching paths, which is cool. I hope they kind of continue that trend.
Yeah,
but yeah, it definitely the locations have been awesome. The locations, the enemy design, and the music, although repetitive, is all been top notch. It's run well on balanced, although I have heard that later on I'm gonna want to switch to performance.
Really?
And yeah, apparently later on there's some levels that start getting a little chunky on balance.
Okay.
If you want true 60, they recommend going into performance, but we'll see. But yeah, man, the whole presentation has been great. I can't say that obviously without talking about, but outside of that,
sure,
it has also all been great too.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask, like with games like this, like the examples that we used, Bayonetta, Nier, they all have like excellent storytelling as well. Does this fall in that category or not so much?
So the people that made this game really, really like Nier. And for the record, the person that made Nier has played this, and he was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Like, very cool stuff." So they obviously are, very much in cahoots. They're all together on this, which is great. But this game is so far, the story is interesting because very heavily influenced by other mediums and not only other games, but also other mediums, including some movies pretty heavily. But the thing particularly that this emulates the most is really special because of how unique it is. And I'm very curious how these guys are going to handle if they continue this kind of continued copying of the source. I'm really curious how they're going to handle it here. They can't really just copy what the other game did. It wouldn't work. So I'm very curious how they're going to make this theirs kind of thing. And it may flop completely or it may be awesome. I'm not sure, but I'm interested in seeing that if nothing else.
Yeah, just
like
seeing what
I'm interested in the ending for different reasons than maybe like the story itself. The story itself so far it's been propelling for sure. The world has been very interesting, and it's definitely asking questions that I want to know the answers to, which is a good sign. But yeah, it's not really like compelling dialogue, compelling characters. That's not really what this is. It's more soldiers and their kind of more single dimensionalism dealing with situations.
Yeah. And it's also they're doing what they want to do with the characters, right? Like
the characters are serving their purpose.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Is the voice acting any good? It was fine when I played the demos.
Same.
And stuff.
It's not bad. It's
okay.
not bad. It's not been great. But it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. Yes, this game's only available on PlayStation right now. I have no idea if it's always going to be exclusive or if they have plans to bring it to PC or anything like that. I don't know what they're planning. I want to say that PlayStation gave a lot of funds for development, so it might always be a PlayStation exclusive. They might have locked it in for that. Cool. You plan on finishing it? You gonna see it out through the whole way?
I think I'm gonna try to finish the main story.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I kind of want to at least see where that goes. I'm curious how they're gonna do the ending and all that. So I'll explore that a little bit. That's the plan.
Yeah. I've heard it's like 25-ish hours. So
25 out. What? I thought it was like 15.
It depends.
So I may finish it. We'll see. Maybe possibly if I get around.
What do you guys?
I'm flirting with the idea, thinking about it. Might pencil it in.
What else do you have going on? What's on the radar that you're gonna put this down?
Really? Oh, dude, I have 5 games I'm currently trying.
I thought you finished a good chunk of them.
I finished Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay.
I'm still working on Infinite Wealth Like a Dragon. Got side content there.
I thought that. Okay.
I'm on hour 95 of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Still working on that. I've got about an hour to 2 of Pacific Drive, an hour or 2 of Sons of the Forest. And I was gonna just do the main story of Rise of the Ronin, but then I had to go and be freaking amazing. So now I spent the last 20 hours doing full completion in the main area, the first main area. So that's been rude.
Okay. You got stuff going on.
Dude, you spoke of Pacific Drive. Like, that might be like top 3, maybe even best game of the year so far for me.
Yeah.
Really? You finished it?
I fucking loved it. Yeah, I finished it. I finished it a while ago. That was a me time game that I just I didn't stream it, played it, but Pacific Drive is
it's a big vouch.
We're talking me time games. I started playing more Horizon Forbidden West last night on PC.
Yeah.
That game, I'm actually gonna, if I continue playing that game, I'm going to ruin other games for me. Because I'm going to always just be like, well, they made their game look fucking insanely good. Why does this game look like shit when this one looks and runs at 200 FPS and it looks real? What's going on? Why can't you do this? So I gotta be careful with how much I play that, because it will actually hurt other games by association, which is not a good thing.
Association.
But yeah, that might be my my offline game for a little while there. But I do want to try to finish Stellar Blade. But a lot of the stuff that I like, all the outfits are apparently secret stuff, right? So you have to like go and find all of those rather than getting them through main story. Is that true? Do you know?
Oh, okay. No, not at all. I've gotten 2 additional outfits. Okay. I'm pretty sure one was during the course of the main story. I mean, I don't think it's gonna like hold your hand and lead you to them, but if you're looking inside areas and stuff, you'll find them. Yeah, I've absolutely found at least one extra one.
I'm just curious how much extra stuff is in the secret / side stuff, I guess is.
Well, the thing is just there are tons of different resources, and you have like rigs that you can then upgrade. You've got your main stuff that can be upgraded, your slots, your gear slots, that kind of stuff. You've got the vendors that you can work with. So there's lots of like currencies and different materials that you're kind of collecting to do different upgrades. And those upgrades are very meaningful. In some cases, adding like, I just found a defensive one. And the 3rd upgrade makes it so if I'm blocking while under 20% health, I heal.
Oh, That's pretty good.
Oh, cool. Great. And then the rest of it is like more defense, more shielding, stuff like that. So, and then those, you can have apparently later multiple of those. So then you want to upgrade multiples to kind of, keep up with those. So there's lots of different little things to find that kind of filter into different mechanics and systems in the game.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to play more. I'll probably play a little bit after the show today before I get back to packing. But I want to put a couple more hours into it just to see the game, to get past where I was in the demo a little bit further.
Ethica Tank just said, I have 35 outfits so far, and at least 25 of them are from exploring/puzzles only.
Holy shit.
35?
That's a lot of outfits.
Wow.
And that's so are the outfits all cosmetic, or I know that there's ones that
only
are like
cosmetic.
There's the one that's like if you wear it then you don't have armor, and that's like
that's
the
not a
hard mode.
cosmetic.
That's not cosmetic.
That's just removing it.
Okay.
So the only two modes are you have a suit on or you don't. If you don't have a suit on, you apparently take more damage. It's like a hard mode secret something. I'm not really sure. I haven't played with it.
Okay.
But if you have it on, it is purely cosmetic, and there are 0 effects associated with them.
Cool.
There's also 4 other slots that are like that too. So you get like I think some glasses and earrings.
Okay. All right. I think the other question I have for you, and maybe you haven't put enough hours into it to really say, where does it stack up against Lies of P?
So I definitely need to play it more, because one of the things I love about Lies of P is the fact that it's consistently awesome. Like, it does a great job of being really fun beginning to end. And I need to see if I'm going to feel that way in this game, like with things like enemy variety and level design and things of that nature. So I don't know in that regard. I do like Lies of P's combat system better, just because it is a very tight system in all regards. And I'm not super sold on the kind of tiny little bit of delay in this game.
Okay.
But that being said, I mean, it's a difference between like a 95 and a 90, right? I mean, they're both really good. So
yeah.
I can't make a full comparison yet, but I'd angle on Lies of P right now.
Okay, cool. I like Lies of P, so that I'm with you. It'll be a hard.
Stellar Blade is still awesome.
Yeah,
it is the kind of thing where if you like Lies of P, you should definitely at least try the demo of Stellar. Like, there's a very good chance you're really gonna like it. It is more DMC though. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's have the best of both worlds. Let's just put a nice, fat, juicy butt on Pinocchio.
That's true.
Instead of his nose, his butt will grow every time he lies.
His butt grows every time he lies.
The story just writes it itself.
He's just dragging this huge ass at the end of the game. Like, oh, this is very. I should have told the truth.
Wow.
Nice.
Anyway,
nice.
But before we move on from the Pinocchio ass growing conversation,
the thighs of P, I like
the thighs of P. Thank you for that. Yes, I do want to say, just in case anyone was wondering what the gameplay felt like, gameplay of Stellar Blade is very much more Devil May Cry. And where Lies of P is more of a Souls-like. I think me and JP were just comparing more of like the feel of the game. The gameplay is very different.
Yeah. The reason go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
So in for instance, Lies of P, slow, methodical. You're doing one hit at a time, or like maybe a very light combo here and there, that kind of thing. First thing you're shown in Stellar Blade is like, okay, these 4 buttons are a light combo. These 6 buttons are a heavy combo. It's a much different feel of gameplay. You're Devil May Crying. You're doing that kind of stuff in Stellar.
Yeah, the reason I ask is
Revengeance. Yeah, exactly.
There's this. It's kind of cool that Stellar Blade and Lies of P are both Korean developed video games, and this is actually Stellar Blade is actually the second game, the first console game for the company. The first one they made, I'm blanking on now. I've played it. Nikkei is the name of the mobile game that they make, which I think Zeke you've seen. Did I show you Nikkei before?
That's stripping.
Yeah, I think you sent me something that said you have to play this. I think maybe
that might be that might have been right.
Okay.
It's this one. They actually just celebrated their year. year of existing. I'm trying to find gameplay for you. Hold on. But you can very much tell once I show you the gameplay that, of course, they made Stellar Blade. Like, of course they did. Yeah. Here you go. Here's very early gameplay of Nikkei, the mobile game.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's exactly what I remembered in my head. I was like, aren't they just like firing guns and then you can see their entire ass?
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. And this game also, I think, is like top 3 on mobile in terms of earnings. Like it's right behind Honkai and Genshin. So
I can see why.
Yeah.
Great fantastic
hey,
assets.
If Nikkei paid for Stellar Blade to exist, which it seems like it did, let's go.
Hell yeah, man.
Keep selling the Nikkeis. Give me some more Stellar Blade.
Some people enjoy like a vista from the top of a mountain. Some people like a nice warm sunset, like butts, man. Some people's sunsets are butts.
That might be the most apt statement you've ever said. See, some people's sunsets are butts. That's gonna go on your gravestone.
Or as my chat said, bun sets.
Oh,
Bun sets.
Yep.
Bun sets. Not bad.
Bun rises.
Not bad.
Bun rise, bun set. The bun will come out tomorrow. No. Stop it. No Shoutouts.
I'm still thinking about fucking Pinocchio walking around with a giant ass just dragging it.
I laughed out loud because someone in my chat just went, Pinocchio. Oh!
Dark Arrows in my chat said, Dark Arrows said, Pinocchio might lie, but that ass don't.
And it actually makes sense in the context.
Yeah, it's good. That's great. That's really good. All I'm saying, they need, look, Stellar Blade devs and Liza P devs.
That's amazing.
You guys got to collab. All right, you got to collab. April Fools, it'd be great. Yeah.
I can't believe that fits so well. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe how well that fits.
They got to do it.
I refuse.
They got to do it. Zeke, you're doing your 10th anniversary month for kind of everything on your channel. Anything? How did Boshy go? How was Boshy?
Terribly.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of those things that I had like a retro or a introspective moment where I'm like, God damn, sometimes we look back at shit with like rose-colored glasses. You know, you look at it and you're like, okay, it's hard, but I can do it. And I realize again, it takes like every once in a while I have to go back to it and re-figure out that I'm not having fun doing this. This is like the game itself up to that point was challenging, head smashingly difficult at times, but I got through it. And this is the last fight in the game. Yeah. I mean, save the optional fights, because people are apt to tell you like, oh, this isn't even the hardest fight in the game. There's the Cheetah Man fight. Like, fuck you. Shut up. But this is the last fight in the base game, and it's like super difficult, especially like for me. I beat all the things up to this point, and I've spent probably, I don't know, 25 hours trying to beat this at different points.
Yeah.
Like in my life. And I just realized, like, after 4.5, 5 hours, I don't remember how long I streamed it. Like trying to beat this guy. Yeah, something like that. And I just realized, like, I don't care. I don't want to do this anymore. It is not fun for me. Like, this challenge is not fun because, I mean, it's not just pattern recognition. There is, like, random shit in there that can, like, fuck you. And it's also, like, 3.5 phases.
Yeah.
So I got past the first phase once because it's just such a fucking mess. And it's like flashing lights and screen shake make everything hard to see. I just like, fuck it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm never doing that again. It's miserable. Like by the second hour, I was miserable, and I was miserable for the next 3. Like, I was like, you know what? And I turned it off, and I looked at my chat, and I went, it's a hard realization sometimes when you realize that you're never, ever going to dunk a basketball on a regulation hoop. You're never going to do that. You're never going to be able to jump high enough to do that. No matter how much you condition or like, I'm never going to beat Boshy. Like, that is not going to happen. I am not skilled enough. And that is a hard realization to come to, you know?
Yeah.
Because like every game I've ever wanted to beat, I eventually did beat it. And this is one of those where I'm like, not going to do it. I'm not good enough. And that's fine. I got to just be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying. I'm really trying to be okay with that.
Yeah. I the only thing I can relate to that is the Fatalis stuff. Cause I was definitely in that stage where you're just like, I'm not, fun has left the building.
Yeah.
And now I am just filled with sadness and not
can
fun.
you take it off the screen? It's making me ill to like.
No. I get it. Wait, look, this is the gameplay. It's these 5 scenes, and he probably just dies by there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't. That's as far as I can relate, and I still think this is like on another level from that. So, yeah, I've never.
Tons of people have beaten it. I'm just saying I'm not those people.
Sure.
I like if I like. If you saw how many hours I sunk into Modern Warfare 2, this is well before streaming. Like how many hours I sunk into Modern Warfare 2 and the improvement that I made compared to most people's improvement over that many hours, you'd understand like, oh, you barely improved at all. Like over those hours, like you're still terrible. Like, yeah, but I put like, 50 hours into it. It's like, but you suck, man. You get like second to last, third to last place every fucking time. Like, yeah, but I'm getting better. Like, you're not though. You're not really getting that much better. So like,
how do you define better?
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, competitive games like that require quick action, quick motion, snap, reflex stuff. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
it's not for me, and it's never been for me, and it's just it sucks because I really wish I could have beaten it by now, but. It's not gonna happen. But I mean, I beat all the other bosses up till that point. Like I beat Mario and Sonic and all the other like difficult bosses. Just that one is not. It's hitting a wall.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could talk about another game that you were obviously super into. You played some more Snowrunner.
I did. Why did I do that? Why did I have a day of games that make me mad?
The amount of people that came over to my stream were like, Zeke's playing Snowrunner. It was the Matrix meme. It was the Matrix meme all over again. Zeke's playing Snowrunner. You got to check it out. I was like, guys, I don't know what I was playing, but I just went back to playing.
I'm streaming right now.
Yeah.
Don't somebody go watch somebody else.
Yeah. Still not fun. Still didn't enjoy it.
Honestly, like I played it with the wheel again, knowing that it's not the optimal way to play the game. And I played it like mostly like I think I slotted 2 hours for each game that day, which the 3 games or the 4 things that I did that day were Getting Over It, Only Up, Snowrunner, and Blackjack, things that make me mad. Because like over the 10 years, like that's kind of an MO for me, is I get pissed off at shit. So I had a day for like games that I never wanted to go back to, but I figured this is a gift for you guys. And judging by how many people came over to your channel and like, hey, like, it was a good gift. People enjoyed that gift.
People were very into it.
And also like, I felt bad not giving the wheel some more time because it's not a cheap periphery. So I'm like, oh God, I better get JP's money out of this.
Well, here's
on the wheel again.
You might have to. Did you put it away? Does it still exist?
It's in the box. It's in the box. Yeah.
You might have to get it back out. Did you see the big announcement this week?
No, maybe. What is it?
For who?
For the Snowrunner franchise. They are.
Is it Mud Runner?
No, they are doing a VR Snowrunner game.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the Quest 3. Funny enough, is the platform. I forget the exact name of it.
That could be kind of fun.
What is the name of that, chat? There was. I gotta find it. Is it Mudrunner VR? Is that it? Yeah, here it is.
It is Mudrunner. Yeah. No. People have like, you know, they tweeted me these things. Like, hey, did you see this?
Yeah. This is
I was
like
gonna
full
say
VR.
Zeke probably has more people tweeting him about Snowrunner stuff than anyone else.
That's probably true. Yeah.
He doesn't even play it.
I'm curious how this works. It seems a lot more like
holy fuck, you have to actually get out of your vehicle.
It's more granular.
My God,
it's more granular than like SnowRunner, which is already incredibly granular in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's apparently a thing. So you might
once again, I will say these games are for people who have never experienced a mountain climate winter. Or like a boggy, muddy road that you like. It fucking sucks. It's terrible.
Isn't it great that they can experience it through the power of video games, Zeke?
No, that's why I'm guessing that's why some people enjoy it. It's because like, oh, I've never had to deal with this. Oh, is this what it's really like? Like, yes, but you actually have this Mudrunner thing. Just blew my mind because it's like, oh, we're going to simulate you getting stuck in the fucking mud, bottoming out on something and having to get out of your fucking thing in the freezing ass cold and go like fucking take the winch from the front of the fucking vehicle and like winch it around something. Or you have to wait in your fucking cold ass car and call somebody, be like, hey, Chuck, can you come over? Yeah, I bottomed out again. Can you come bring the winch? Thanks. And then you have to wait for fucking half an hour because Chuck is, you know, he's fucking unemployed and he's got to get showered and changed before he comes and gets you. And then he brings his fucking winch over and then the fucking thing breaks trying to get you out of there. So we have to call a tow truck anyway. I don't want to, sim. You know what? I don't want to sim for that.
I'm realizing you've had some traumatic events that
I was going to say, I think we got to unpack some layers here.
Yeah, you might need to bring this up with your therapist in the next session because that
was a journey.
What would Optimus Prime do? What would Optimus Prime do? What would Optimus Prime do?
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, I'm sure there are like people out there who understand what I'm talking about. In not just in this game, but like in other sim games, like, hey, do you want to play Supermarket Simulator? And people who have worked at like an Albertsons or a Sam's Club or something, like, fuck no, I don't. That is the last thing I want to do ever.
Sure.
You want to play Power Wash Simulator? No, I worked at a car wash. I don't want to do that.
It's true. But now there's all these experiences where they can for those people that want to. How'd your Dark Souls 3 randomizer go? How was that?
Dude, that shit was fun.
Yeah?
That shit was a blast. Yeah, we ran this mod. We were wondering, because I wanted to put Souls in there because Souls was a part of the 10 years, definitely. Like, I love these games and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I did, when Dark Souls 3 was, like, new-ish, I did a run. I was like, okay, Dark Souls 3, I want to do something special. So I did what I called at the time, pick it up and play with it, which means anything I pick up, I have to equip it. This mod does it for you.
Yeah.
So, but it also randomizes everything. So like you can get an N level weapon like, right away, but you don't have the stats to use it. So it's like 10 damage, 10 damage, 10 damage with this weapon that's like end game shit. But super fun. And like I put like some caveats on the game. Like if I see something like even if I have an awesome weapon that I can actually use, I feel comfortable with. If I see something on the ground, I have to go get it and pick it up. So, and I was like, pointed out to me, it's fine. That's kind of the whole deal was like, you only get a good weapon or a bad weapon for a short amount of time until you find a new one that you pick up and it auto equips it. So I was like, you can see, like I have an amalgamation of like gauntlets, a dress, and a big bucket helmet with a fucking two-handed like chunk of concrete or whatever.
Oh God, does that mean you're like always at full weight?
No, I leveled up my vitality.
Oh.
So like if that ever were to happen, but no, you're not always at full weight because you can switch out like a plate armor thing just randomly because equipment is randomized in the mod too. So like that auto equips. So like I go like I have a 20-pound helmet and then like I'll find a 2-pound hat. Like it happens. But I tried to prepare for it. Like, okay, I don't want to fat roll anymore. So I'm gonna put some points into vitality.
What's it do in a situation like that? You have a 2-hand weapon, you just looted a shield. So like the next 1-hand weapon, do you equip it with that shield, or does the shield just never get equipped? Oh, now you just have to use the shield.
I was just using two-handed. I was two-handing the shield because sometimes it doesn't work out right.
Okay.
Because the other caveat that I put on myself was the very last weapon, you have to have it equipped. So if the very last weapon was a shield in one hand, you can do that, or you could two-hand the shield, but you can't get rid of the shield until you pick up something else. So if I pick up another weapon, I can throw off the shield and play with that weapon. You can play two-handed or just that one.
Yeah, so if you find another weapon, you can keep the shield and use the new weapon.
Yes. That's what I ended up doing.
And then if you were to get like another dagger, you could like choose which weapon to drop and then like keep going.
Yeah, that's how I play it. Yep. It's just the very last weapon had to stay equipped no matter what. So like a lot of times I would have the last weapon on my left hand, but two-handing the other weapon. Like the second to last weapon or whatever. But it ended up being real shitty. I mean, not real shitty, but real like challenging.
Yeah.
Very much so. Like, but at sometimes it was like, holy fuck, slash, like, like an end game weapon that doesn't require a bunch of stats. And you just like, we're tearing through people until like you killed them and they fall down and they drop something. You're like, oh no. Then you pick it up. It's like, it's a catalyst or whatever. So you're just like jingling bells and you're like, jingle bells.
Yeah.
So at one point, I think I had 2 like catalysts or 2 like faith weapons that I couldn't use because they cast faith spells or whatever. So I had 2. So all I was doing was avoiding enemies and running around looking for like fucking things on the ground to like replace them with, which made it kind of frantic and fun. It's like I can't use either of these weapons. My faith isn't high enough and I don't have spells for it. So I gotta go around and like just look on the ground and find drops, because every single drop in the game, except for key items, like the items that you absolutely need to progress, those are static. You can change those if you want, but I left those static. So like the first item you pick up is like the Ashen Flask, the MP flask. So I left those items. But anything else can be one of 1,600 different fucking items.
Yep.
Like the ultimate loot box. Like every single item is a loot box that covers every item in the game.
And the other thing is, the other thing is that once you have had a weapon replaced by a different weapon, it goes against all of your instincts. But with the randomizer, like you just pick up whatever you have, you keep whatever you have. So you sell everything that has gone past. So you end up with a good amount of souls, to level up with, because I'm sure when you play Dark Souls, you don't like sell anything if you don't have to, right? With the randomizer, since I have to play with what I got, like, all of the shit that's like rare doesn't matter. All sold, boss souls, sell. So I ended up like getting up there in levels and being able to like actually hold my own until I met the Abyss Watchers again, and those guys are a fucking bitch. And I was doing okay. I if I would have kept playing, I probably could have beat him, but I was like, I just don't want to do it anymore right now. So I kind of left them unbeaten, but that's okay. It was only for a day anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun.
So the mobs aren't randomized. It's just loot in this one.
Just loot. Yeah. Okay. Yep. No. You can randomize like everything. You can randomize bosses and all this kind of shit. But you just did the item randomize.
That's how I played Elden Ring during the Thon last year, and I will probably will do another Elden Ring run soon, just so I have a fresher character for the DLC this summer. But I don't.
Heck yeah, man.
I would hope that I could use, because the randomizer makes it basically a new game. Because I'm like, a perfect example is I'm watching you play this right now. I remember every single one of these fucking mob spawns. I remember how many times I died to that stupid frost guy right before the bonfire outside the door, but you don't know the bonfire's there because it's just a door. And so you would run down there and fight that guy, and he drops the fucking weapon that I think I used for a very long. So like I know all this shit. But when you're in Elden Ring randomizer or any randomizer, you can open a door and it's like, here's the final boss. Or like, and here's like, I don't know, the best weapon in the game in a random corner in a random pot type deal. So that's great. That's good stuff. Nice save.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. So that I don't know if I could like play Elden Ring again without any of that stuff on, because I'm gonna know where everything is. But I don't know if I can play the randomizer and then turn it off and have the world go back to like default. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna have to look up into it because
now when you did your randomizer, like would bosses still spawn in the boss areas and they were randomized, or would they just spawn anywhere in the world?
Bosses would spawn where bosses are, and mobs would spawn where mobs spawn. But the mobs could be any mobs in the game, and the bosses could be any bosses in the game.
Oh, okay, I see now. Okay,
and that even goes for like outside bosses. So like the knights and whatever that walk around on the bridges, those could be anything. But typically, what it does is it would make those knights on the bridge all the same type of enemy, as if they were all knights on the bridge. So it has like some an intellect to it. That's not the word I want to use, but it's the word I'm going to. Like it makes sense where like a type of mob is always that type of mob, or that boss is always this type of boss type deal. But it's really fucked up because for me, I remember just walking around and like, logic. Thank you. You're walking around in the open world and you go to that the first camp after you meet the first merchant, right before you get your mount, when you talk to the girl or whatever, and you go up, blah, blah, blah. And there's just like giant ants walking around in that camp. And you're like level 1 and you got to deal with that. But it's cool. It made for a really fun playthrough. So I highly, if you're bored and looking for like a Souls game to play and you're not sure which, get a randomizer. They have them for pretty much every major Souls game.
And also it really helps you like solidify what you like. Cause I'm sure there are weapons out there that, I mean, for me personally, there were weapons that I was like, I passed over when I was, playing Dark Souls 3 the first time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck, this thing is great. I passed over it because I didn't know, I wasn't forced to use it. But now that I am, I'm like, fuck, this is really cool.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It makes you wonder if they would ever do something like that officially. It's like a mode that they
by the way, word to the wise, if you're going to do mods, make sure you play an offline mode because they will ban you for cheating.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. What were we going to say,
Carl? By the way, so I just a few days ago did a sponsor stream for Lords of the Fallen.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I was going to ask you about
the ARPG that came out recently. And funny that you say what you did. So one of the things they did was when Lords of the Fallen came out, it was rough around the edges. The devs knew that. They had this kind of roadmap for free content they wanted to do. And the reason they sponsored me to play Lords of the Fallen was because the 1.5 patch was the big finale of their free content roadmap. And one of the things they added, which is actually pretty freaking cool, is they've basically tied the New Game Plus system to this new modifier system. So now, whenever you New Game Plus, you can add modifiers to the new world, the new version of the world. You can add more enemies. You can add random enemies. You can add random loot. You can add, you can completely change like how many bonfires are available. There's like different levels that you can do that.
Nice.
You can make it permadeath.
Oh, wow.
It's cool. It's a very cool system. And at any point you can like go to a bonfire and like re-roll the world with new modifiers if you want to. So it is it's a, you say, has anyone ever done this officially? Well, I don't know if it's the first official implementation, but it is an implementation.
That's cool.
What you're talking about.
I hope that It creates so much more longevity for the game. Like that's why so many people are still playing Elden Ring today, because of the randomizer stuff. I'm sure that's why people that already beat Lords of the Fallen will potentially go back, because they love that world. They love how the animations and all the weapons, and they want more.
I am very sorry. We are talking about Lords of the Fallen, the new game. This one came out last year before. It is one that I played all the way through. I've really enjoyed this game. I'm looking forward to hopefully it one day releasing an expansion, so I'll have a reason to do a big replay of it. But no, it's a very cool Souls-like, and at this point, for me, it's a pretty easy recommend. I enjoyed it when it came out, but now that it's undergone like a bunch of patching, performance enhancements, all sorts of stuff, it's become a pretty solid game. So
yeah,
very cool one.
Yeah, what this game launched, was it performance issues? Was that the biggest issue with it?
There was some performance issues, and some folks had some issues with the way that they did the spawning and combat, which became pretty prevalent. Like the game was very difficult, and the way that the spawning and stuff was done made it very, very punishing if you were to die in some areas, and that was a huge detractor. Also, I think there was the issue also that it was marketed as like this super big AAA game, but it didn't quite have the feel when it came to like the performance, the bugs, and all that kind of stuff of a AAA game. So that kind of played into the whole thing as well.
Got it. Cool. I didn't realize they were like putting out updates for
the first big Unreal 5 Souls-like. Little thing there.
Oh yeah, I guess that is true.
But no, it is worth checking out now.
Is it on any type of sale or anything like that right now? Do you know?
I think it was like half off on PS5 because it was releasing for PlayStation. But I don't know how much it is now. I'll take a quick look.
Yeah. What the heck is? Oh, sorry for that random music chat. That was the Lords of the Fallen. It is. Is that the original one?
So Lords of the Fallen right now,
you might still have it installed. So
it's 60. It's 60. There's no sale of any kind right now.
Still full price. Yeah. Okay, got it.
And it's still even with the 1.5 update, it still has some optimization issues.
Cool. Yeah, we did it between you and I. We've done a bunch of sponsored streams this past week. What did they add in Icarus? What was the big Icarus push for the
Icarus stuff? Another new patch, man. I tell you, this is one of those games that is just like silently chugging along in the background. It has become a very solid survival game. It is not really bending the boundaries too much in terms of what that is, but it is a very solid survival game. I always have a good time when I go in and play it. There's tons to do if you want to give time to it. There's like 4 different tech trees that are, multiple pages horizontally long. There's a whole perk system across 4 different things. There's different missions. You can do open world. You can do outpost building. It's a lot. There's a whole different blueprint tech tree thing that goes on. But the big thing they were talking about now is not only the fact that it's come as far as it has, but also they released a Leica update. So now with the animal taming you can do, they now have their own perks and skill trees. You can bring them back up to the station with you and take them back on other missions like the workshop items that you can in the game and all that stuff. So yeah, it's chugging along, man. It's chugging along. I think whatever you want to of Dean, the ex-DayZ guy that now is doing this game, but he is stuck with this project. They're still chugging along and they're still working on it. So.
And it's available for anyone to play at any time, right? There's not like a test period or anything for it. You could just buy it.
For Icarus? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just play Icarus.
Yeah, I wasn't sure of like where that game was.
It's $35 right now.
Okay.
Yep. They have DLCs already as well and expansions and stuff. But it's definitely a situation where it's like, there's a huge amount of content in the base game if you start with that.
Yeah.
Kind of branch out as you do.
Cool.
Is it one of those games that has a story or an ending?
No. Not really. No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not that kind of sandbox. It's not a grounded.
I was very shocked to see you playing Sandland. You did a sponsorship for it. How was old Sandland? Also, don't worry about the Santa Claus on screen chat.
Sandland is freaking cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's basically watching an anime. I mean, all the voices are like anime level quality. They all are great. The graphics and the design is top notch. Of course, you have all your classic anime character casts. Sandland, those that don't know, is also a full anime on Hulu. So you can go watch this if you want to. It's a full IP. So, and this is kind of following the little band of characters that do that. The thing that I didn't realize about this game before I did the sponsored stream for it, and really kind of sat down with it, it always looked kind of like cutesy and fun to me. Looked like it was just going to be something that is a great way to just relax and play something that doesn't require a lot of thought. Just be entertained by this cool little anime world kind of thing. And that's what I was expecting and looking forward to. Then when I started playing it, I realized that it is everything I was expecting in terms of the anime. But the game itself is kind of this, mostly takes place in this open world vehicle mode. There's 13 base vehicles and 400 different components for them.
Wow, I didn't realize there's that much.
Exactly.
I knew there was a lot.
That's what I was like, I'm sorry.
400.
So 400? Like, how much customization are we talking here? Like, what does this mean? Like, is this a vehicle game? Is this a proper action vehicle game? Like, hold on here. Is this not just some, game that's going to rely on its anime for all the things and just kind of have a basic action game behind it? No, this looks to be like something pretty cool. So sure enough, I played it for a while. I didn't get too far into the vehicle portion in the 2 hours that I played. It does start very slow, unfortunately. But when I did get to it, this part right here, it's just a straight up actiony vehicle game. And we're talking where you've got a primary weapon, secondary weapon, 2 subcomponents, an engine. The frames are the different base components. There's also some cosmetic stuff. So if you like this kind of thing, and especially if you're a fan of DBZ and that style, this is a cool one. Like, you definitely should be checking this game out. This is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
What can you tell me the story behind all the soldiers wearing Santa Claus hats in this?
They're not. So the only person in the Santa Claus outfit is a reference. That was a character named Thief.
Oh,
and
okay.
If you watch the anime, you get some insight. I did not. Somebody in chat told me this. If you watch the anime, you get some insight into why he is looking like that and everything. The TLDR, from what I understand, is those are his pajamas, and he was trying to be sneaky at night.
Fair.
He thought that's what was going on, but I'm not sure. So I've not seen the anime.
Yeah.
But yes, they're again. If it may, I don't. Here's something. Somebody did ask me, should I watch the anime before I play this game? That I have no idea. So I'm not sure if it's the kind of thing where you should watch it before you play this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know of Sandland. I've never watched it. I know it is like Akira Toriyama's first work before. I think it was his first work before a lot of the other stuff that he did. So yeah, and the main characters. I think the main character's name is like Beelzebub or something like that, right?
Beelzebub. They're demons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the premise of the story is that Sandland, the Earth, has essentially been decimated, and demons have fled onto the surface. And the very first part of the game is a demon, your main character, trying to get some water to humans to keep them alive, because he doesn't want the humans to die off, because then what's he going to terrorize? What's he going to do?
Sure, yeah, classic story. Classic.
So it's an interesting premise that, of course, begins to ask all sorts of questions. What happened? How did it happen? Why are the demons here? All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And begins to explore all that.
For those of us who are not in the know, what other stuff has Toriyama done?
DBZ.
Dragon Ball is the big one.
Yeah.
He is the he is the Dragon Ball guy. So if you wanna, and there's many others, but that's the headliner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. DBZ is the big one.
And unfortunately, he
on Dragon Quest. Okay.
As well.
Dragon Quest is
more
what I.
Yeah. Chrono
Trigger. He unfortunately.
Yeah.
He did unfortunately recently. Yep. He recently passed. However, he did, and the official account tweeted this. He did have a very kind thing about the Sandland game and how much he was looking forward to it and everything. So it was kind of sweet.
Yeah. I'll answer questions. I did play Fallout 76 this past week. I jumped in.
Oh, cool.
For an afternoon. And the rule was that I couldn't talk shit about Fallout 76 for the entire time that I was playing it. because I was playing with two people that were very much into Fallout 76. Were wanting to play. I don't have. That's a game that's Fallout inspired. Like I don't really have much to say about it. It's very much Fallout. I think I would have preferred to be playing Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, just knowing what I know about those games. But like the social aspect of this was cool, and I see why people are playing it. I think it's still skyrocketing and like player counts and everything like that. But yeah, I don't have much to say. Only offering it up if you guys have questions about the state of the game or anything like that. And I can offer, I guess, the best answers that I could as someone who's pretty uninformed about it.
Did you is this your like a restart of the game, or are you playing off an old save?
It's a brand new character.
Called?
Yeah, it's a brand new character. Okay. I was not playing the character that I created with the two of you.
Okay.
When we played that a decade ago, or
way
whatever.
back in the day.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were
many moons
of cranny mayonnaise.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I know that. It was like last time logged in 2017 or some shit. It was wild.
Nice.
But yeah, me and Gassy and Bruce were playing it. And it's it's the Fallout world. It delivered on that promise very well. It was the Fallout world.
How is it like jumping in now? Does it feel better than it did before?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Jesus Christ.
I made a terrible looking character. Face. Yeah. It's
wow.
It's very much it's unfortunate because I think most live service games that have been around for a while, the new user experience in most of those games is always bad because there's so much that's going on in that world that they don't necessarily tell you all the ins and outs of. And they kind of introduce you to systems over time, but it's like jumping into Destiny for the first time where like there's so much fucking happening. You're just clueless as to what's happening. This one does have like some major storyline beats that you can jump into. And it also gives the ability to jump to just level 20 to like skip all of that. So you can get to just playing and like seeing, jumping around and playing with your friend type deal. But I had like the experience where the streamer experience where like a viewer walked over and was like, here's some power armor. And I just jumped in real quick.
Cool.
And that was great. Like I had fun getting in power armor with a giant minigun and just blowing shit up, seeing nukes, seeing different like raid bosses and all of that. But I didn't really explore the ins and outs of like character builds and what you do is like a daily process. It was very much a day in Fallout 76. And with that, I had a pretty good time. A lot of that was probably because I was playing with friends as well as viewers helping me out. But I think, like I said, I still stand by the fact that kind of would have preferred to at least see like the single player Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 experience more so than this. But if you're looking for a social sphere, a social game in the Fallout world, yeah, it's it does a good job of that. I can't speak to anything in the end game aspect of that, but a lot of loot. I was immediately hit by the loot bug. I say loot bug, not a bug in the game. I have a loot bug to where I just go and try to loot everything. And they very unfortunately for me put in a massive AoE loot issue. So you just get encumbered within 5 minutes of existing in this world. You're automatically encumbered. And that becomes very quickly an issue. To where you're trying to like pump stats into strength and get power armor that gives you more encumbrance and all that stuff. But I think that's just kind of Fallout in a nutshell. Having not played much Fallout, I think that's a lot of it. Yeah.
That's Bethesda games. Any of the Elder Scrolls games and there's always encumbrance. It's just like, can we not anymore, please? How about that?
Yes.
How about like, okay, encumber me for a little while. But then make a magic pill somewhere in the 10-hour range. Let's give it a little bit of time. Magic pill that says no more encumbrance. Okay, like give us a goal to work for so that we can just carry everything we want forever.
Agree. I agree. Still very much Fallout though. The short of it, I don't need to spend more time on it. And I understand why. I understand why Xbox/Microsoft is pushing people to this, because I think it is the easiest one to get into without mods or anything like that, and just start playing right away. And two, it's very easy to play with friends. They did a good job with that, where you can just like fast travel to your friends whenever you want, and it doesn't. There's no penalty for that. You just fast travel away, and you're in their whatever, in their world, shooting things, doing quests, things like that. So I understand why. And that was kind of Fallout 76, short and sweet. I talked Planet Crafter last week. I went back, played more of that. This sponsor stream for Warhammer 3. They're just adding more stuff to that game. There's so many fucking units in that game now. Like it's crazy how many fucking units.
Warhammer 3, like the Warhammer 3?
Total War Warhammer 3.
Total War Warhammer 3.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What did you think Warhammer 3 was?
I was thinking of the old ass, like before Warcraft, like World of Warcraft.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah.
This was
like the first like Blizzard game I probably ever played.
Yeah. No, it was just this. I was very much the kid playing with his toys and being like, I want to get the strongest unit and put it in here, and I'll take the new unit and put it in there, and then we're gonna make them fight. And then I would watch them fight. Very easy sponsor stream.
Yep. That's pretty much all new Total War players.
Yes.
For like the first 15 hours of their career.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
New or long time returning.
Anything else? I did try to have. I did a terrible modding stream for Fallout 3. We don't need to talk about that. Was there anything else? I played a little bit more No Rest for the Wicked. For what it's worth, we don't need to talk about the game. I just want to give a shout out to those devs, because they have been cranking those updates out for No Rest for the Wicked. It's wild how much that game's already
Dude, they
changed.
added same item sorting in the last one.
It's wild how much that stuff has changed. It's crazy. That's
so
straight
good.
crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shocked at how fast they're pushing that. And then I played Bellwright for another sponsored stream. It is a survival game, but also how would I describe this? It's like a city management game as well as a survival game. So like you build a base and then you can recruit villagers to come work in your base, and you give them different jobs within your base that they'll just automate rather. So they'll go and like get wood, get berries, whatever. And you kind of just like progress through all of that. There's combat to it. You get your village raided. You can also have those people that are in your village work as defenders. It's kind of grindy in the ways that you would expect a game like this to be grindy. Not that it was overly grindy, but I spent 2.5 hours with it, and we didn't get far at all. Like we didn't fucking see shit. We built like a handful of things, and we got a bow, and that was 2.5 hours of work. So it's a slow going process
like
in that regard.
life?
Sure. Yeah, it was like real life medieval fantasy. Yeah, let's go with that.
That's like real life.
Yeah. It was fine though. I think it's if you're looking for this type of game, you probably already know about this type of game, is how I would say it. And I also think that it's unfortunate that Bellwright launched right when Manor Lords did, because I think Manor Lords, while not really exactly the same type of game, same setting, and a lot of people were playing that because it had 3 million wish list or something like that last week. I think it sold 1 million in the first 24 hours and was sitting at like 180,000 people on Steam playing it consecutively, which pretty wild.
Behemoth.
Yeah, just a massive behemoth. So this game's early access, just like that. I would assume they're going to continue to update it. This is from the the Lost Oasis devs, which is another survival game that I know Strippin had played a bunch of. And so that's why I agreed to it. But I had not played much of that, so I decided to jump in here. But it actually crashed the Steam purchases. I didn't know that. Wow. That's wild that that game was doing that well. But yeah, that was Bellwright. It was short and sweet. Zeke, if you're wondering if you should jump in, I would say wait a bit. Let them cook before you jump into to this. Yeah, because there is a ton of content. Like I said, I barely saw any of it. But they're definitely still going to be making updates to it for sure. So definitely wait on that one.
It's with these games, like there's a reason that I found like that I played through like Pal World and Enshrouded and Valheim and all these other games. It's because they have progression and bosses. Like that. I've realized that is my that's what I want in a survival game. I like the survival. I like when the actual building helps your character somehow, give you bonuses, something like that. But also it has to have some sort of goal. Like, I'm not strong enough to face this boss yet, so I'm going to go do some shit until I am. Then I'm going to go face that boss. So I'm not sure if there's bosses in the game or anything like that, like big monsters or anything. Yeah. But if it doesn't, then I'm probably not in.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I would say that there most likely isn't. It's very very grounded in like the medieval fantasy. That's got 1.0.
Be Rising,
next
man.
Week.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's
a
the
week
8th.
and a half.
Yeah,
it's May 8th.
May 8th.
It's gonna be a big day for survival Be Rising fans.
It'll be
good.
Some of those updates they've pushed, the multi-tiered buildings.
Oh Jesus!
All the bosses.
I didn't realize I had 190 hours in Be Rising.
Dude, they've added so much to when I first played it.
So much.
So that I will probably jump into that. And do a brand new character and all that stuff. Seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yep. 132 hours for me.
Damn. I think I'm only rocking 50 or so. Let's see.
Yeah, dude. Multiple full playthroughs.
53 is what I've got. Yeah.
Yep.
And I only touched that game.
Just got a new update with Ashlands.
Yeah. Did either of you check that out? I didn't see any streamed content of it.
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
No. I know if I start that, it's gonna be
it'll take over your life.
It's gonna be trouble. I can't do that right now. Well, I can't ride that dragon right now.
Thankfully, the last time I played was in last December, so just a few months ago. So I'm not super fresh, but I still I have a save or a character that is up to that snuff. And Ashlands, apparently, you need to have beaten the content before it. It's one of those gated things. You have to beat this particular enemy to get a particular thing.
Yeah.
To progress into the new area. You need the antler from the first boss to make a pickaxe.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same kind of thing. So the placeholder that was there, because I did that content. I was like, you beat the thing. Here you go. And it's like a glob placeholder. You're like, oh, because that's all it says. It's coming soon or something. You're like, oh,
yeah, I
got the MacGuffin. Great.
MacGuffin obtained. Yeah, there's someone in chat's rightfully pointing out they ended the Hades 2 technical test already. So there's a pretty strong chance that we see that in May come out on early access.
They straight said that once that wraps up, early access will be soon behind.
Yeah.
So yep. We could see it.
Where do you guys sit? Are you jumping in early access or are you waiting for 1.0? I think I might. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. There's not much out in May, so I might just bite the bullet and jump in, but I also don't want to overdo it to where 1.0 doesn't feel as special for me. I don't know.
There's a line in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou where he George Clooney's character is offered a squirrel on a stick or whatever. He's like, you want that? He's like, nah, that'll just wake up my appetite without putting her back to bed again. And that's Hades 2 right now. It's like, I don't want it to wake up my appetite without putting it back to bed again.
It's true. You could just start a Hades 1 run. Get that and just do
go for it. It's a gopher. That's right.
Which you probably want to do before 2 anyway.
For story purposes, maybe?
Just
Just cuz.
Yeah, it's fun.
An excuse to play Hades.
Yeah, I don't
Right,
want to
exactly.
I want the thing. I want the thing in my hands, the whole thing.
Yeah. I wonder how
Hey,
long
you want to bite a hot dog? No, I want a hot dog, please.
How
Can I have
long
the hot dog,
was
please?
early access to 1.0 for them? Was that 2 years? Or was that a year?
I remember they were an Epic exclusive for a year.
Yeah.
When they hit Steam, was that a 1.0?
I don't recall.
I don't remember.
Probably be less this time. Well, how much? I didn't play the. I didn't get into the tech test. Did either of you get into the tech test? I don't know how much content there was there.
Steam was the 1.0. Okay.
So maybe.
So they were EA for a year-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much content was in tech test. It was only the first floor. Okay. All right. We'll see. If it comes out, it comes out. Tales of Kenzera Zal. How am I saying this, Co? You did the sponsored stream.
Oh yeah.
How did I butcher it?
Tales of Kenzera. I messed it up. Zao. Tales of Kenzera. No, I got it.
Did we just have a stroke? Do we have a combined stroke?
No. I was trying to remember how it was pronounced. I believe it's Tales of Kenzera. Zao.
Got it. How was it?
It was great. It's a solid action platformer. It is definitely here's what I will say about it. It is a game that I feel like the gameplay is probably a bit on the simplistic side. It does work, but the way the combat and stuff was done, I wasn't really kind of super engaged with it. It is beautiful. The music is awesome, very artistic, and the story is right off the bat. Like, we're talking real big tearjerker / we're talking relationship stuff.
Oh wow.
It's like father son, like very deep stuff. You know, there's right at the beginning you're hit with some death stuff. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a story that is going for impact, and continues to show that as the bit I played it. So the game itself is a solid action platformer Metroidvania style type of game. But like I said, I think the real focus is like kind of the artwork, the setting, and the story.
Okay, cool. And then
did you say that was sponsored or no?
It was. My look was sponsored. Yes.
Do you see yourself going back and trying again?
For me, I don't. I actually like. Let me put it this way. I instantly knew I was going to have issues with this game. Because I instantly had I had the same feeling when I started Spiritfarer.
Really?
So
it was that much of an impact?
It was the kind of thing where it's like I could instantly tell it's like, oh, this is gonna get like really heavy into like father son stuff and what you say beyond the grave and how you interact with your family. Like it was gonna be one of those real deep introspection types of games, and I was like, man, I don't.
Dude, what do I
shoot some stuff? I don't know, man. It's gonna get
what
real
a way
deep,
to do
real
a sponsored stream, man. You start off the
no.
Let's check it out, guys. Okay.
Oh
my god.
No. Let me be clear. It's really wholesome stuff. This is not like Last of Us style stuff. This is really wholesome.
Okay.
This is like, it's like I could tell this was gonna be a really powerful narrative, is I think the best way I could say it. That's what's setting up to be. Much more so than games of this type normally get.
Okay. Cool.
No, dude, I'd like listen, I'm on your side, dude. I could not stream Spiritfarer. I'd be a fucking snotty crying mess like half the time. You're like, all right, let's see where we were. Oh God, no! Why, God?
You're at this person that you're letting pass to the afterlife.
Yeah. But that's I will say that I played all the way through Spiritfarer, and it was my game of the year that year because it affected me in such a profound manner.
Yeah.
It is. I was about to say, it is the kind of thing where I think if you like those types of stories, this is absolutely a game you're going to want to check out.
There you go. One more time, say it, Co, because I'm not going to attempt.
Tales of Kenzera, Zao.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. And then, like I said, a lot of sponsored streams this past week. What did they do in Dead Island 2? I thought this game was completely done for.
No, it came to Steam.
Yeah, that's what the big.
That was the big thing, and a new expansion pack where they it's called So LA, which is basically they recreated a giant music festival with all of its different regions and areas and attractions and things like that. And there's a whole little story that goes through there. So it's more Dead Island 2. It's still exactly what it's always been, just ridiculous zombie chopping fun. It is still to this day probably one of the best dismemberment systems in a game like this, which of course is very important for zombie games.
No, you're
Let's
right.
Be real. That's a big factor.
I laughed, but you're right.
And absolutely, and dismemberability, I believe, is what the judges called it. But the dismemberability factor is very high. Good. And it's always a good time just chopping up zombies in this game. It's one of those ridiculous build crazy weapons, with flamethrowers and cattle prods, and then just go and slice them up into 1,000 pieces. And,
yeah,
dumb, clean zombie killing fun.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Zeke, what?
And speaking of, I'm doing a little 2-hour stream after this. If you want to come on and check it out.
Oh, nice.
Of this?
Of Dead Island? Nice.
Yeah.
No, immediately when they asked me, they're like, "You want to do Dead Island 2?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." Those games are fucking hilarious.
Dude, it's always a good time playing that game. Yeah. I look forward to whenever they come out with whatever they come out with next. It's always a good time.
Has that studio said what they're doing next after Dead Island?
I don't know if they're continuing Dead Island stuff.
Yeah.
I hopefully it's been going well. I mean, they've continued the development and patching and everything of that, so I'm assuming it's going well.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if they've announced like further plans and stuff.
Got it. Zeke, what's the big finale for your 10-year month anniversary? Do you have something planned? Or are you doing something big?
Not something big, just a game that kind of, I don't know, put me on the map is a real word, like a real like thing.
Okay.
Whatever, but like it might be the game that got me the most people coming into my channel like, "Hey, I saw that clip of you." Darkest Dungeon 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We're gonna fire up Darkest Dungeon 1 for the first time in however long.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be what we're doing on the final day, the 30th of April.
Nice.
And yeah, we're gonna play that. And remember all the times that, God, I didn't realize how much that, like, just watching highlights of that past streams of that, like, holy shit. There were so many moments where I just, like, lost my shit and broke shit. And, like it wasn't just one moment. One moment people remember, but, like, there were more moments than that, like throughout. I mean,
like, that was kind of your shtick back in the day, was it? Did you just black out and like not remember?
No, I didn't remember all like how many there were for that one particular game.
Oh, okay.
Like I know I did it a lot, but I didn't know like there was like 3 really good big fucking flip outs.
Do you still have the what was it, the name of your hammer? Because I remember that was very
yeah,
you still got that? You still smashing shit with that, or is that
No, I have I still have it. Yes, I still have it. Okay. But I haven't smashed anything with it in a good long while.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's retired.
It's retired. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. No, I still have temper tantrums from time to time. I still throw things, you know. But more often than not, like my anger has turned into just like more of like a quiet self-loathing. You know, like that's what happened with Boshy. I was just
the natural evolution
Boshy,
of self-hatred.
And then by hour 2, it was just like,
oh, fuck.
And eventually, like hour 4, like the last 30 minutes was like, camera off. I don't want to look at me. I don't want you to look at me. I just want to plow through this shit and get it over with. And I didn't even make it that far. I was just like, Alt F4, goodbye.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. No, I still have like I mean the remnants of my past are still in the bottom drawer of this little like filing system or drawer thing, this rolling drawer thing that I have. There's still broken controllers. Like I have one controller.
You didn't throw them away. You kept them.
An actual graveyard.
Yeah, you got an actual graveyard over
controllers. Little mortuary.
I mean, most of them are like one button isn't working, so like they'll work for some things.
Just
Like a bumper
Zeke,
button doesn't work.
Okay, I'm gonna give you your finale April 30th. Take everything in that drawer and fucking throw it away.
Maybe I'll just smash it with the fuck.
Sure, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
You gotta let
Perfect.
the past go.
Yeah,
You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. As long as the steering wheel's not in there, keep the steering wheel out. You gotta don't trash the steering wheel.
No, I'm not smashing the steering wheel.
You gotta at least get it.
I'm sure there's
VR.
a game out there that I'm going to enjoy playing.
You gotta get the VR
with that fucking steering wheel at some point.
Maybe
I gotta get it like a racing game or something that's compatible with the wheel. The Snowrunner, like once I put away the wheel, I didn't get to finish that thought when we were talking about Snowrunner. Was once I put away the wheel and started playing with controller for the last like 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
You enjoyed it?
God, it was so much better.
Yeah.
It was so much better, undeniably better than playing with a wheel. Because the wheel is, it's clunky, man. It's not like intuitive or anything, and also it has resistance. So like you're trying to like pull out. It's like this is not like we have power steering now. There's no need for that resistance on the fucking wheel like there is. Like every car now comes with power steering. They don't even mention it in the fucking, you know, it's like mentioning that you have windows that you don't have to roll down. Like you don't need to mention that anymore. But Snowrunner with the wheel doesn't have power steering.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You could always play Dark Souls 3 with a wheel.
Oh,
yeah.
Someone did that.
Yeah.
I mean, people have played Dark Souls 3 with like a banana. Like
actually not kidding.
I'm not even kidding you.
No, that's yeah, they actually did that. They did that. Well, cool. We can unless there's something else you guys want to bring up, we can wrap up show a little early. Is there code? I saw an inkling in your eye thinking about
it. I replayed. I actually finished. Do you remember that police mystery game that I talked about a little while ago with the police women and like the big boobs and big butts and like If you want, like, if Stellar Blade isn't in your face enough, like if you're one of those people that, like, they changed the costume, I got a game for you. It's called The Police Mystery. It is $16.99 on Steam, and it has.
Oh my god!
It is honestly just checking off like fetish. Oh, fetish. Oh, fetish. It's a fetish fucking checklist. I am not kidding you. And I just wanted to bring it up because I don't know if I told you this or I mentioned this ever, but like my most viewed anything, VOD, YouTube, anything, is a TikTok video. It has over 8 million fucking views.
Wait, really?
And
really?
Yeah, no shit.
Wow.
It's
nice, man.
Of me as a tiny ant-sized cop jumping into a cup of coffee and being swallowed by a giant-titted cop lady. And that is my most viewed video of any source anywhere of all time. And it dwarfs the next thing by like 700 or 7 million.
You fed right
Apparently
into the
it's
algorithm.
Called Vor. I hadn't learned that term.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Vor is a fetish where you fantasize about being swallowed. Pretty sure.
I love that JP is like, all right, we're gonna break early. Would anyone like to bring anything up?
But there is,
and Zeke's like, Thor.
But there is, if you go to my TikTok and you see that, like while you can, I guess, before it's banned, and you like read some of the comments, I would say like a good 30 to 40% of them are people going, I was looking up Call of Duty. Why the fuck am I here? Yeah,
I don't know.
There's tons of people that get directed to this for whatever reason. So I would say like probably 2 million of those views were on fucking accident.
A redirect gone wild.
Offended that they got directed there.
Jeez.
The algorithm has betrayed you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. Someone in my chat was saying that Evo Japan stream, which is going on, I think the finals are tonight, or the final day for Evo Japan is tonight. The main stream channel got banned for ASCII art in the chat or something. Oh, they've been on banned already, so it doesn't really matter. But
okay,
I think it was just an unmoderated chat.
Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? It seems like there's no. I've been watching Maximilian, dude. He's been at the top of the directory for it anyways. So he watches all the channels at once. So I don't even have to go anywhere. He just clicks on the hottest match. I let Max be my guide to the FGC.
Oh yeah, dude.
In all ways.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. It's good. He's doing. I think he's doing another stream tonight for it. So definitely check that out. And that's that. I think we'll close the show a little early. I do not know about a show next week. Speaking to you two as well as the chat. My move starts on Wednesday.
You'll be moving, man.
Yeah, my move starts on Wednesday. I get there on Thursday. Then there might be a chance that everything gets set up, but there might also not be a chance that everything does not get set up by next week. So I'll let you know. Let's plan on not doing it, and I'll tell you otherwise.
There you go. Yeah, let's have a zero pressure situation. Just focus on that, and if the stars align, we'll jump on.
Yeah, sure. Everything should be good to go on Friday, but we're already running into ISP issues, so we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah.
Luck.
Google Fiber got out to the house yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, your fiber line doesn't work." I go, "What does that mean?" Or Max went, "What does that mean?" Because I'm not there. He goes, "Well, we're going to have to completely give you a brand new line." Oh, how long will that take? And they're like, 36 hours, 48 hours. It's like, I don't believe you, but we'll see.
That's not believable. Yeah. No. We'll see a new fiber line in 48 hours, huh?
Yeah, okay. We'll see what they do. We'll see what happens.
I don't think so.
So yeah, we'll plan on no show next week, but there is a small chance that everything gets set up and it's all good. And we'll see how that goes. So let's do some shout outs. Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to the movie. Should be a fun drive. Zeke, what do you got going on? Doing a sponsored stream, right?
That's correct. What's up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, or Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you to Co and JP for being my co-host every week here on the Drop Frames Extravaganza Show Blowout, whatever we're calling it these days.
Yeah, that's it.
Thighs of P. We're calling it Thighs of P now.
Thighs of P.
If you want to check me out, I will be streaming directly after this, as JP mentioned. I'll be playing some Dead Island 2 for a couple of sponsored hours. And come on down. Like, I haven't checked the game out yet, so I'm looking forward to it. Dead Island was a fun Zed killing game, so I'm looking forward to playing a little bit of this. So yeah, come on out and have some fun. And then on Monday, I'm off Mondays. And and by the way, my tabletop role playing show has closed. We have done the final episode. We did a roundtable, and now Blade Runner is in the books. So no RP of that nature. But on Monday, I will be doing Darkest Dungeon, just like I said earlier, for my last day of the 10th anniversary month. So thanks for watching. See you later.
Fantastic. Co, what's going on?
Hi. As always, big thanks to JP and Zeke. My name is Co. Hello. I am off the rest of tonight, although the cozy stream would normally be around 6:30. We now do the daily rerun then, so you can tune in then on /Co if you want to hang out with the community. I'll be back tomorrow morning with Stellar Blade, and then we'll figure out what we're going to be doing throughout the course of the week after that. So as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week, if not before then. Go watch Zeke play Dead Island 2. That game's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Thank you all. Thank you both. We'll be back potentially next week. If not, we'll definitely be back on the 12th with another Drop Frames. So have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you then. We're out of here. Bye-bye.